Hi, this is Hank, the Angry Dwarf. Well, you. Why am I so angry? Well, goddamn business is it of yours. I think all of you people who listen to Howard Stern can go take a flying and your people mean nothing to me. You're like crap. If only I could reach you from the top of the Howard Stern building. You listening to the Howard Stern show, climb to the top of the building and jump off. And hopefully all of you will die.
Nice.
This is impossible. On the night that the article claimed I had dinner with the author in Los Angeles, I was not in Los Angeles. I was not even in the United States. The author also claims he came to my house as an invited guest during my husband's Shiva, which is the Jewish period of mourning after a funeral, and states that I went around screaming obscenities about my late husband, that I boasted about caterers, and I ordered my publicist to use this tragic event for my own personal career advantages. This is a total pack of evil, vicious, sick lies.
Keep your hands off of me. Unless you intend to arrest me, don't push me, please. I know you won't, but don't push me. Take your hands off of me unless you intend to arrest me. Wait a minute. Well, Walter, as you can see...
Here it is.
Are you feeling down and are you all alone?
Yeah, baby!
Have your dreams been shattered? Have you lost all hope? All you need is music. It's your destiny. It sets you free. All you need is rock and roll. Whoa. All you need is rock and roll. Whoa. Yeah, right. Rock and roll. You can raise your hands. You can stamp your feet. Get down, turn around. You can do it all. 'Cause there ain't no rules. When you feel the music, just move your feet to every beat. Whoa, all you need is rock and roll. Whoa, good baby. Whoa, all you need is rock and roll. It's Run DMC version. Whoa, all you need is rock and roll. Whoa, all you need is rock and roll.
Hey, you guys are great.
I love him. I forgive him. And I know that millions of others will forgive him too.
Our first guest tonight has been fired from more jobs than most people will ever hold. Right now, he has the #1 FM radio morning program right here in New York, New York. Folks, please say hello to Mr. Radio, Howard Stern. Howard Stern, ladies and gentlemen. Nice to see you.
Good to see you. Oh, okay. We're back. Good morning. First, we got a lot of things to do today on the show. But one of them, and probably most important, is to nail Kay Gardella to the wall today.
Ah, good.
All right? That's going to be the major point of the show today. We got, the way I got to figure it out, between 8 and 9 o'clock, we're going to nail Kay Gardella to the wall. Because, well, between 7 and 8, Richard Simmons is coming in, and it's going to be hard to nail Kay while Richard Simmons is here.
You can't nail anybody while Richard's here.
Yeah, well, you could nail somebody, but...
Well, you'd better not.
Yeah, but not Kay Gardella.
AIDS is running rampant, you'd say.
Oh, wait a second. Be cool about that.
Oh, yes. Okay. I'm sorry.
Let's see.
We are live once again.
Siobhan on Gary's machine. Gotta do that. Damn Rather. Did you play that Dan Rather clip, Freddie?
Keep on rocking thing?
Yeah.
They didn't give it to me.
Right.
So.
Dan, how you doing?
I'm doing just fine.
Dan, I didn't know you were up for a Grammy this year.
Not up for a Grammy, up to watch. Rock and roll forever.
I understand. Hey, cool, man. I'm with you.
That's what it was. Rock and roll forever.
Rock and roll forever. Dan Rather.
You know what was really great?
Let me hear that again. Yeah.
Listening to some of the Emmy or the Grammy coverage over the weekend after the Grammy Awards had gone on, I heard one of the commentators call Bono.
Bono.
Yeah.
Sonny Bono. Maybe he was talking about Sonny Bono.
No, he was saying a group called U2 with a lead singer, Bono.
In all fairness to the newscaster, I don't, I'm seeing B-O-N-O, I'd probably say Bono, too, if I wasn't a rock fan.
Well, the thing is, if you're doing a report, you're supposed to know something about what you're reporting.
It's a little less pretentious than Dan Rather. Keep on rocking. Rock and roll forever.
Rock and roll forever.
Rock and roll forever. What a nut.
Dan, how you doing?
I'm doing just fine.
Dan, I didn't know you were up for a Grammy this year.
Not up for a Grammy, up to watch. Rock and roll forever.
I understand. Hey, cool, man. I'm with you.
He had to move along. I was standing there online. He had to move along. He didn't have time to talk. Rock and roll forever, man. That pretty much sums it all up.
Did you watch the Grammys finally?
No, I never did see them.
Tape of them?
No.
Because Billy Crystal.
Rock and roll forever.
Made a comment to Dan Rather during the show.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Did he say rock and roll forever?
No, he said something like George Bush sent a message to me about you, Dan, and it was something like, or something like that, he said.
Oh.
And then he forgave himself. He said, I'm sorry, Dan, I couldn't resist that, or something. But Dan getting a lot of play about that whole George Bush interview, and now his rock comments.
Rock and roll forever. Dweezil Zappa. I don't know what that is. Siobhan, wait till you hear this.
You know what I can't believe? You haven't mentioned it this morning.
What's that?
Divine is dead.
Yeah, I haven't mentioned it because I figured we'd save it.
Yeah, well, it was just that we saw him.
I mean, I got a lot of things to talk about I haven't mentioned. I'm thinking...
but that's at the top of my mind. We were in a room with the guy a couple of days before he died.
I haven't mentioned it because I figured we'd just wait a little. Because it's such a hot thing, It's sort of weird when I see that. It's the one time where we could have interviewed a guy. The guy was waiting around for us to interview him. I don't know why we never got to him, but I think we were just busy.
Moving around the room, and somehow he just missed us and we missed him.
Yeah, Divine is dead. They put it on the front page of the Daily News. A lot of people know what he looks like, but they don't know who he is. You know what I mean? They don't know the name Divine.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the audience. That's
probably don't know his other name.
It's probably why I didn't rush to interview him. It's the kind of thing where if you don't see Divine, you don't know who he is. Except for those few hip people who watch John Waters movies.
Yeah, usually you spend most of the interview explaining who Divine is.
Yeah, so I didn't rush to interview the guy. Now he died over the weekend, and we could have interviewed him on Friday. Too bad.
Well, I remember us making a comment about him being in the room, and how every time we saw him, he was just getting bigger and bigger.
Bigger and fatter.
And then he dies of asphyxiation in his sleep.
Explain that to me. What did he do? He just stopped breathing?
Well, I was trying to read the account in the paper. They really don't describe it.
When you die of asphyxiation, either you die of a suicide attempt in your garage, or you die of somebody smothering you. I never heard of just laying in bed and dying of asphyxiation.
Well, see, that does happen to some fat people.
Yeah. Oh, really?
One day they lie down, And the pressure of all that fat just crushes their chest.
Really?
Yeah.
He's probably laying on his back. Like Elephant Man wasn't supposed to lay on his back either. That's
right.
what killed him.
Yeah.
So, I like those scenes when the Elephant Man was sleeping.
It's like, don't tip over.
Like, why not commit suicide already? Do yourself a favor. God. Oh, man. Yeah, well, Divine, or Glenn Milstead, or whatever his name is. What is his name?
Glenn Harris Milstead?
Glenn Harris Milstead. He was walking around the Palladium on Friday, and we're just sitting there, and I just said, oh, okay, we'll get to Divine later. I just figured he'd be making the rounds. And then all of a sudden, we just never interviewed him, did we?
No.
What happened exactly? Yeah, we just weren't that excited about it, because like Robin said, you just have to sit there and explain every 10 seconds who Divine is. And when I'm doing an interview, I don't want to just sit there and explain every minute. And plus, Divine now was into this thing about being a serious actor. Forget about the fact that the guy ate a dog turd, or, excuse me, human excrement on screen.
Was it human or dog?
Was it dog or human?
It was dog.
It was dog. Not to mention that movie...
What's the difference?
I don't know. I've never tasted either one.
Big difference.
I saw a movie...
Oh, it's okay. It was human excrement the man ate.
I saw a movie where he kissed Tab Hunter, and that was pretty gruesome, too.
Especially considering he ate human excrement.
Yeah, I feel bad for Tab. That his career has come to that.
Yeah. You don't know who to feel bad for, Tab or Divine. It's a pretty tough toss-up there. But, yeah, the thing is that we were looking him over, and I just said, yeah, I guess if he becomes available to us, I'll talk to him. But he's gotten so serious. I saw him on some interview show, and it's like, I want to be taken seriously as an actor, and I could just picture us getting him there.
This is a man.
Yeah. I mean, you dress as a woman in the movies, man, and you're a man. You got a penis. So, it's kind of hard to take you seriously.
Yeah.
And you ate human excrement, and you did half a movie in a crib with your grandmother. It's not like you're a serious actor.
Yeah.
So it was the kind of thing I didn't want to sit there and listen to him say, well, no, I'm a serious actor.
And then the whole thing of, he's known as Divine, this 300-pound transvestite, and then you want to interview this man who nobody knows.
And then when you ask him about his sexuality, I guess he did admit to being a homosexual.
Did he?
Yeah, I think so. I think when we had him on in Washington, he did say that he had a few...
I don't remember. It was always very vague.
Yeah. And it was kind of vague. All I know is that John Waters and Divine lived next door to each other, and...
Yeah. Well, he was out in Los Angeles to do an episode of Married with Children. So.
Yeah.
Right.
His first big part.
Yeah.
So anyway, he died, and then I looked at the paper and I went, "Oh man, we could have interviewed that guy, and he's dead."
Yeah, I mean, the one time we could have had tape, to go with it from the show.
It would have been cool if Divine, you ever think about dying? I expect to live a long life. Boom,
Wouldn't
dead.
that have been ironic?
It's sort of freaky how I get affected by, like, I could read that the President of the United States died, and I'd be like, so he's dead. I see Divine dead on the front page. I start getting weird feelings about mortality and life.
Yeah.
I mean, why am I so affected by Divine dying as opposed to somebody really important?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I think that it also has something to do with the fact that we saw him alive at the Palladium.
Well, that's what I thought was really freaky, was that we were in a room. Because I always feel that way.
Yeah.
Did that person know he was dying?
I took a look at him. I knew he was dying. I could tell. God.
Now.
I said to you, oh, man, look at the...
Well, we did comment on that look.
Hey, do I have to take a break here? Absolutely. Okay, why don't I take a break, and then we'll go to the phones and do a little news before Richard Simmons gets here, and then we're gonna spend a good hour nailing Kay Gardella. She wrote about me in the paper today.
Yes, just to explain things, of course.
Yeah, but I haven't had a turn to explain things my way.
Yeah.
And secondly, I have a feeling most of our audience doesn't even know what's going on, because the phone call to Kay Gardella happened around 10 o'clock.
Yes, maybe we should replay that.
Yeah, maybe several times.
Okay.
But just so you can hear what an idiot this woman is, and you'll listen to the hypocrisy of this, and then I'll read you what she wrote today.
Yes, Sterno.
Yes, Sterno. I'll read you what and we'll come up with a new name for Kay Gardella,
Okay.
I assure you.
All right.
Because this squat, fat woman sat and wrote a review, and why don't I save it?
All right.
Let me save it up for 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay? But this short, fat, squat woman wrote a review based on And I still consider it a review. I'm sorry.
Yes, you didn't say I based this on anything but my own
opinion. Yeah.
And opinions.
If you're going to say that, if you're basing something on something, say you're basing it on something. Kay Gardilla?
Oh, God.
Or Kay Godzilla?
Gee, do I have to pick?
Because if you've ever seen Kay in the street, Gary actually saw her in the street, and she walks around. She was holding 2 big shopping bags in her arms, like, you know those Bloomingdale bags with the handles?
The big brown bag?
Big brown bag. And they're so damn trendy and cute, that Bloomingdale's, but hey. Anyway, they're like everything this show is not. So she was wearing like a big fur coat. You can picture her in a big fur coat, even though you kind of question on a reporter's salary how she affords that. She must have a rich husband or something. Although, if a Kay Gardella gets a rich husband, then every woman should have a rich husband. You know what I mean? I mean, if she can get a rich guy.
Well, Cosmo must have been writing about her this month, how some ugly women are able to get husbands without any trouble.
Yeah.
Must have been an article about her.
They must give incredible, they must really put out, let's put it that way.
I don't know what the answer to that is. I have to read the article.
But he said it was real funny. You see this big, heavyset woman in one of those big fur coats, and they never look good in a fur coat. It's not like on The Price is Right when they show you a fur coat and a model's wearing it.
Right, yeah. Well, they look like grizzly bears.
Yeah. She looked like a big bear, he said, but with that big beehive hairdo. That big bouffant.
Yeah.
That big cardboard bouffant.
So the big fur coat, the 2 brown bags hanging from either arm.
Yeah, he said she looked like a bag lady.
Waddling down
the road.
What a pretty picture.
Working on a song parody, Kay Godzilla. You know. Oh, no. You said she has to go, Kay Godzilla. Wait till I play the phone conversation we had with Kay Gardella on Friday or Thursday, whenever it was.
It was Thursday.
Yeah, must have aired Thursday.
Or maybe it aired Friday.
Who knows?
I can't remember.
Yeah, it aired Thursday.
Did it? You heard it?
Yeah, I heard it.
Is she a load or what? And then...
Oh, man, I wanted to reach out and smack the radio. I couldn't stand it anymore. I couldn't believe Howard wasn't going off as
Can we hear this guy?
Yeah, you should be able to hear him.
I can hardly make out what he's saying.
I could hear him. Hello?
Who's this, Fred?
Oh, it's Howard.
Howard?
Yeah.
How you doing, Howard?
All right, wait, let me read what Kay Gardella said.
Okay.
One last comment on radio's bad boy. Evidently, she caught a lot of flack. And in fact, most reporters, I would not release tapes of the conversation. I make it a policy not to release tapes of the show.
Yeah.
But every reporter in town was calling, asking for tapes of the phone conversation, and I just said, listen Tuesday, because I'll get to it on Tuesday. So everybody, the Daily News, the New York Post, the Newsday, Marvin Kittman, everyone is totally intrigued by this conversation with Kay Gardella.
Well, wait a minute. The Daily News called?
The Daily News even called, because I think, probably this will lead to her ouster. I mean, after you hear this phone conversation, you heard it, sir, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's appalling.
I can't, I mean, how can she even have credibility as a reviewer after reviewing something based on what she read in somebody else's column?
Yeah, well, that gets to the whole point.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a reviewer.
So Kay Gardella chooses to sum the whole thing up. And for those of you who didn't hear the conversation, I'll play it back at 8 o'clock. Once and for all, let me clear up for the benefit of those who have called here that I distinguish between reviews and comments. Some confusion seems to have arisen. Well, if this many people are confused, then evidently nobody gets the difference between reviews and comments. What is the difference between reviews and comments? A review is comments, you idiot. She makes a distinction between reviews and comments.
And where it appears in the paper.
Yeah.
If it's written over here on this side of the line, it's one thing. If it's written over there, it's another.
Well, it's pretty funny. She explains the whole thing away by saying, my comments appeared in Inner Tube, not in my column. that explains away.
What kind of credentials are there to be a reviewer in the first place?
None. I guess having a big floppy fur coat and a bad hairdo.
Wait till you hear the song parody I got for you.
Oh yeah, you made a song parody?
Yeah, I got a good one.
Oh, for going to California.
You're gonna love it.
Yeah, we've been getting them in already, and I'll be talking about that a little later on, but It's going to be a real good trip.
Yeah. I just moved back from there 2 weeks ago.
You know, Robin's right. Your level's a little low. Can you kind of get close to that microphone and yell?
Yeah. How's that? Is that better?
Not much.
Well, I'm on the mic. I'm talking on the phone.
Yeah, I know. It's probably not your fault.
Yeah.
We had a feeling you were on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why.
Maybe he's yelling out the window.
Moved back from there. Part of the reason was I missed listening to your show. I had people mailing me out tapes of your show.
Where were you?
I lived in Hollywood for a few months. I was going to school out there.
Huh.
And I
guess that was a real successful educational experience. A few months. A few months of school.
What kind of school is there in Hollywood?
Oh, it was a film school.
Oh,
was it? What was it? Director's training?
No.
I almost went to that. I got a flyer in the mail once.
Oh, yeah?
I graduated college and I got no job. So either I was going to become a buyer for Macy's, or I was going to take a job in Westchester in radio, or I got this thing in the mail. It was called Assistant Directors Training Institute. And you go there and they put you on a movie and you get to be the assistant to the director. If you had some credentials, like educational credentials, and I had those, so I figured, okay, maybe I'll go be a director.
Might not have been a bad move.
No.
You guys about a year ago when you had the penis contest.
You know, I still think about whether if I had taken that director's job, if I couldn't have networked myself into like a George Lucas kind of thing.
It's very possible.
Yeah.
Do you remember that last year, Howard?
What?
Howard, when you had the penis contest last January?
Yeah.
And I was...
How do you forget a penis contest, sir?
Huh?
These things sort of stand out.
Yeah.
Well, I remember it because I was in the studio and I always wanted to see what it looked like. I think it was the old building.
Would you want to see what my penis looked like?
No, you looked at ours. And you said I looked like Steve Winwood, and I had the tie-dye on, the hippie freak.
Yeah. Okay, hey, listen, I gotta move along, okay?
Hey, thanks for talking.
All right, bye-bye. It's just I can hardly hear him, and I sort of want to talk about Kay Gardella, and...
Kind of muffled there.
Hi, you're on the air. All right, anyway.
Howard.
Yeah.
I can't see how Kay Gardella can live in New York and not know who Robin is.
Yeah, that was another interesting thing.
Well, it's obvious that she knows absolutely nothing about this show except from comments she's heard.
Yeah, well, let me go on with this article, okay? And I will play the Kay Gardella conversation at 8 o'clock because there's a lot of reporters out there with tape recorders, and I want to make sure they have them set for this because I think this is going to lead to her ouster. And if it doesn't, I'm going to be greatly shocked that the Daily News is taking no action on this. Because the way this woman explains it makes things even worse.
She sounded senile to me.
And she chooses to call me names and this and that and the other thing, but when it's her, in fact, who did all of the wrong things.
Yes. She's blaming you now.
You know, I mean, if this doesn't nail this woman to the wall, that she has just some kind of natural hatred for me that makes no sense whatsoever based on that phone conversation I had with her. She's never listened to the show, she didn't watch my TV show, and she hates me.
Well, it certainly explains her TV reviews.
Yeah.
After hearing her discuss her way of putting together her comments.
And well, so far, in order to explain herself, she said that she makes a distinction between reviews and comments. Now, no one from the Daily News is alarmed about this. The woman makes a distinction between reviews and comments. What the hell
reviews?
difference?
You're so right, Howard.
Reviews are comments.
It's not news or
She's probably saying the comments are her personal opinion.
Well, that's what review is. What is a review? Somebody else's opinion?
According to Kay, yes.
She puts on her reviewer hat. And you mean to tell me that the average reader knows the difference between Kay's column and the thing right next to it called Inner Tube? They're supposed to know that she's made a distinction between well, let me read you her comments here.
All right.
Some confusion seems to have arisen thanks to radio's Howard Stern. Not thanks to her, but thanks to me. The tasteless broadcaster we should call Sterno since he's trying to light a fire under the FCC.
Non sequitur?
I'm not trying to light a fire under the FCC. The FCC's trying to light a fire under me.
Also, what does that have to do with what she's about to discuss? I mean, it just comes out of nowhere and has nothing to do with the article.
It's totally has nothing to do with anything.
She never explains that comment.
No. If you were just reading this for the first time, you would just say, what is this? Is this an article about the FCC?
Yeah.
Is this an article about
Sterno? What is this guy doing about the FCC?
Who we should call Sterno. Well, okay, we should call Sterno.
Who's we?
I guess you wanted to come up with a wacky name for me.
Yeah.
And like, you know, it's one of those names that won't stick. You know what I mean? It's not like it's gonna...
I mean, if that was going to happen, it would have happened long before Kay got around to it.
Yeah.
We've been here 5 years already.
In second grade, they used to call me Sterno, Sterno Stove, stuff like that. Whatever, you know. So Kay has revived. I think Kay actually was in second grade with me. I think she was my teacher. I recall someone with a bad beehive hairdo. Maybe that's where she got it. Anyway, so he's been saying that she uses the royal we.
Yeah.
He's been saying that our description as garbage of his negligee and underpants party on pay-per-view, which dared to charge the public to pay $19.95, was a review. And he's been whining about how we could review something without seeing it. Well, the garbage reference was not a review. It was a comment based on information from a variety of sources about the program. Well, I didn't read that in the original article, Kay.
No.
You didn't tell me that you based your opinion on a variety of sources.
Not in the paper. And then when she did talk to us, her only source that she quoted was a review in the New York Post.
I could smell garbage. I don't need to see it. Well, you can smell garbage? What does that got to do with whether or not you review something that you see? That's not, I mean, again...
What does she do?
She can smell garbage.
What does she do? Sniff the videotape they send her on television?
Let's send her a tape and watch her smell it. Based upon smelling this tape, I can tell it's garbage. She won't look at garbage, she just eats it, obviously, because she's certainly not eating anything healthy with the kind of girth on her. She's just eating tons of garbage. Big fat snorkel pig.
I just can see this. They send her, you know, the latest mini-series. She smells it and throws it in the corner and says, garbage.
I could smell garbage. I don't need to see it. Political writers comment every day on whether they think Vice President Bush or Jesse Jackson would make a good president. They don't have to see them performing in the White House before commenting.
There we go.
Wait a second. You're basing a television program...
Howard, I think you uncovered another Jimmy the Greek here.
Yeah, I know I did. When Kay fails to understand, let me analyze this for those who are impaired. When reporters make an assumption on how they think Jesse Jackson will perform in the White House, they base it on whatever he's done in the past. They don't say what Jesse Jackson's going to do in the White House. They don't know, obviously. That's clear to everyone. This woman went in the paper, made comments about my TV show without having seen it.
Even so, I still haven't seen anybody come out in the paper and say Jesse Jackson would make a rotten president.
Right, they don't know. Nobody says that.
He's done this, he's done that, he says this.
They base it on fact.
Yes.
Howard, you know what it is? She's been reviewing for so long that she can tell whether she's not going to like the show or not.
It's enough for me to read the details about Sterno's pay-per-view ripoff program. And now, the guy in the New York Post called it a ripoff. So now she calls it a ripoff. You know, there's a Philadelphia newspaper just gave the show a glowing review.
I thought it was great, Howard.
They said it was crude, but effectively funny and entertaining. So, I mean, based on that, why isn't she saying the crude but effectively funny Howard Stern? As long as she's going by newspaper reviews, at least go by all the newspaper reviews before you write a review.
Well, that's my opinion. Who is she talking to get these opinions? Does she have one group of people who only all have the same opinion?
She took one negative review, and based her whole opinion on that.
Yeah. And she probably doesn't even know the guy who wrote the review.
It's enough for me to read the details about Sterno's pay-per-view ripoff program and listen to the comments of those who did watch without seeing him being undressed.
She talked to everyone who watched.
Yeah. She didn't talk to this guy. He liked it.
I loved it.
Did you dial 1-800-STERN?
My wife ordered it for my birthday.
Oh, good, because I finished editing on Friday. I was up till 4 in the morning editing.
But that's good, Howard.
Yeah, I know. Well, why should I bother with reviewers like Kay around?
Howard.
And let me tell you something. Wait till you see the backstage stuff, and wait till you see Gary's teeth.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I wish you would have played that night.
Yeah, but I swear, as long as you get in the videotape, you'll love it.
Yeah.
Gary's teeth is the funniest singular thing you'll ever see.
Howard, can I thank my friends Russ and Linda for inviting me over to see the show?
Absolutely,
because without them, I would have never been able to see it.
Russ and Linda, thank you.
They're your biggest fans.
Anyway, let me get back to this.
All right.
Please note that the comment... Oh, now she's going to... Okay. Now she's going to explain away the fact that she wrote a review on the newspaper, but it didn't really count. Okay?
Right.
Please note that the comment did not appear in my review column, but rather in our inner tube. Like I'm supposed to know the difference. Also, Sterno's listeners should know they're being conned when he says pay-per-view is liberating the viewers from the yoke of the cable companies and giving viewers true freedom of choice. That's not what I said, by the way.
You never said this, right?
Try watching pay-per-view without being hooked into cable. Now she's... Wait till... I'll play the phone conversation back. You'll tell me if that's what I said. What I said to that idiot was that... Quite simply, she was anti-pay-per-view for some reason.
We couldn't figure that out.
We couldn't figure out why Kay Gardella was against pay-per-view, so we asked her why, and she goes, well, I'm against anything that rips off the public.
Howard, I can't see how you could have stayed as calm as you did, because she didn't make any sense at all.
I stayed calm for a couple of reasons, because she was hanging herself. And as long as someone's hanging themselves, I'll give them the rope to do it.
Yeah, just let it out.
Yeah, just let the rope out. There was no point in me... If I had gotten excited, she would have hung up, and that would have been the end of it. I just wanted you guys to hear what a phony baloney this woman was.
Well, you did it, I'll tell you.
And wait till... Everybody stay tuned for 8 o'clock, because I'm going to just play this thing and expose this woman for what she's worth. This little article of hers does not explain anything. What I said about the cable industry is, isn't it nice that you could pay for something, not have to deal with networks, not have to deal with censorship, and not have to deal with cable companies deciding whether or not they want that on the air. I said cable companies haven't done anything to fulfill the public's need. Every one of their talk shows look like network talk shows, or bad imitations of network talk shows. So isn't it kind of cool that you can pay for something?
It was liberating in the effect that you could decide what you wanted to have coming into your home, as opposed to somebody else programming and just giving it to you.
Right.
Offering it only for your...
Yeah, it was also good to hear you guys, without having to sidestep around the FCC.
Right. And so Kay, of course, just explains this away by saying that I said that try watching pay-per-view without being hooked into cable. But...
All right, if you really insist, Kay, I'll try that.
I'll try. Let's go home and try that today. Let's go home now.
All right.
One more comment. This is not a review. Sterno's use of his broadcast to promote his pay-per-view fiasco is a disgrace. Sterno's use of his broadcast to promote his pay-per-view fiasco is a disgrace. He asked me, what did I care if the public was willing to pay? Well, I do care if the public is getting ripped off. Or did you feel ripped off or used, sir?
No, not at all. I feel like I have the right to order or buy something that I want to hear or see, and I should have the freedom of choice to do that.
So she writes, so Howard Sterno, don't call us, we'll call you. Like, ooh, she really told me off.
Oh, yeah.
This told me off. This buries her even more. What an imbecile this woman is.
Somebody ought to proofread her.
Yeah, really. I mean, isn't there an editor? Who is the editor over at that section? Isn't it Alan Mirabella or... No, it's
that Jeff, isn't
Jeff
it?
Weingrab.
Yeah.
I hope Jeffrey is listening this morning when I play this tape back. This woman is literally off her rocker. If she's going to sit there and misquote me.
She's incredible. I'm still thinking back to that conversation we had with her, which you'll hear around 8 o'clock this morning.
I think they could get a college intern to do a better job than she is.
I would play the conversation back right now, but I don't want to blow my hysteria, all right? I sort of want to capture that moment at 8 o'clock. But straight up at 8 o'clock, Robin, as soon as Richard Simmons leaves, we're playing this phone conversation. And we're going to analyze it and do the whole number. We'll devote an entire hour and a half to that phone conversation, because I want to nail this woman once and for all.
It was truly incredible. It took me right back to the 60s.
Yeah. Because it's not fair for the Daily News to employ someone under the guise that they're reviewing something when this is their attitude. That, oh, because I wrote it in the inner tube, it doesn't mean anything.
And we should trust that all of her little friends who she talks to don't have similar views to hers and will give her an objective opinion about what else is going on in the world.
And why doesn't the Daily News just reprint the New York Post guy's feelings on TV shows if Kay can go by his feelings?
Or talk to her friends.
Yeah. I mean, what do we need Kay Gardella for?
Yeah.
I'm so totally furious over this, and I'm even more furious over this woman's column today. You know, I was sort of thinking, okay, I'll play it today and goof around with it, and that'll be the end, and we'll get some hype out of it. But after I read this column, man, this is war, man. I will not settle for anything less than an apology from this woman, number one, and perhaps a resignation. Because she is going under the guise of not being a humorist like I am. She compares herself to me. This is like the George Maxine syndrome.
Yes.
You do it, so I'll do it. She goes, well, you make fun of people, I'll make fun of you. I don't care if you make fun of me, but base it on fact.
And she kept saying, why are you getting so upset, Robin? I don't even know who you are.
Who are you?
Yeah, who are you? Well,
I'm a voice in your head.
And then she says, I never heard your radio show. And then she goes, I heard your radio show. I go, well, then have you heard it? How could you not have heard Robin? She's on all the time. It's not like there's some kind of new voice popping in.
She couldn't make up her mind what she'd heard.
Oh, wait till you hear this conversation. And for her to explain it away, she's a wise ass. She figures I haven't replayed this phone conversation, and she got away with it.
Yeah.
Oh, at 8 o'clock, I'm replaying it so every newspaper guy in this town can hear about it. And they could start writing about her. And if I don't see some kind of action on behalf of the Daily News, man, I just...
Sue.
Well, she makes these blatant claims without any facts to support them. Your pay-per-view special is a fiasco?
Yeah, a fiasco. And in what terms? The audience loves it. We got people sending away for videotapes of it. My crowd liked it. It was financially successful. What does she want?
She considered it a ripoff, so everyone else should know it. That's what it is too.
Let's make a comment. As long as you're saying that, she doesn't consider it a ripoff. The guy in the New York Post considered it a ripoff.
Yes, true.
Because he didn't like it, and I respect that he reviewed it, and that was his opinion. Fine, I disagree with his opinion.
And to prove that her opinion was based on something other than God knows what, she mentions that you were being undressed. Now, she doesn't know how that happened, when that happened, or where it happened.
Well, she'll know it now because I bet you she's scurrying to get a tape of this thing.
And yet she feels free to comment on it.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy, if they don't nail her for this. First of all, she's a crummy reviewer anyway. She never takes a controversial opinion on anything. Her and that idiot on Channel 4, the one who does the TV reviews.
Well, you heard what she said about Channel 13. You can be real objective when you think everything they put on is wonderful.
Yeah, that was her quote. Everything they put on is wonderful. This woman has got preconceived notions about everything. But I promise you at 8 o'clock we will play that whole thing.
Howard, don't make Richard Simmons cry today, all right?
Why not? That's fun. I fully plan on making him cry.
That was funny.
By making fun of the obese.
Yeah.
He's a good guy, though.
Well, Divine died. I mean, we'll have lots of things to tease him about.
Right.
As a fat person, he didn't help. Why didn't you send him a dealer meal?
Why weren't you at his bedside? All right, I'll see you later, man.
Rock and roll forever.
Hey, right on. Right on. I didn't know we were talking to Dan Rather.
See you, Howard.
All right, take care. Sad day, of course, with Divine. I like in the newspaper they say, Divine was on the verge of getting his wish of becoming more mass appeal and accepted by audiences as an actor, as opposed to a freak. It's like, oh, wait a second. How do you figure he was closer to his wish? But according to what I just read, because I just got my hands on the New York Post.
Right, I'm reading that now.
They said that the guy just died in his sleep. Probably had a heart attack in his sleep.
Well, in the Daily News, they say asphyxiation. Who knows? They're still waiting for the autopsy report.
Yeah, to me, asphyxiation means somebody smothered you. You know what I mean?
Well, asphyxiation is just, having a problem breathing.
Yeah. Being a big fat guy.
You could vomit and do that.
Right.
You could choke on a sandwich.
Or you could just stop breathing.
Or you could just, stop breathing, or somebody could put a pillow over your head.
Yeah, so Divine's dead. I don't know why that disturbs me so much, but it just does.
Especially when you know him now. Yeah. I mean, is this a funeral we could be invited to?
I don't think so. We interviewed him when we were in Washington.
And here, we had him on the NBC show once.
Oh, did we? Yeah, that's right. As a matter of fact, you're right. I forgot about that. We have quite a history going back with Divine.
That's right, for years.
Debbie Harry was in a movie with him.
Right, Hairspray, the new one.
Probably call her for a comment. Let's see if she was upset. And no history of heart attack or stroke. Devine
had
was
a clean bill of health. Went to the doctor just last week.
Imagine the doctor. He's like,
Oh, man.
yeah, I guess you're all right. I mean, you're a 500-pound fat man, or 300. It says here in the paper. That's being kind.
Yes.
You're 300 pounds. You're as healthy as a 300-pound person can be. Clean bill of health. Yeah, okay, you're not dropping dead right now, but chances are you're going to die any day now. We saw him on Friday at the Palladium. Boy, he looked bad. I even said to Robin, how long could a guy like that live? Little did I know he died.
It was about 4 days.
Yeah. Because I know how much energy I put into staying healthy. I mean, I'm eating rice and vegetables and, like, you know, I'm doing the whole thing just to stay alive.
Right.
A guy like that, he doesn't deserve to live in a way, you know? If he's that fat and doesn't take care of himself.
Well, don't say he doesn't deserve to live, but how can he expect to have a long life?
It's not fair to me if I'm sitting here busting my ass to stay alive, and this guy is, he's just eating anything in sight.
Yeah.
And then he lives, like Jackie Gleason lived way too long, as far as I was concerned. I mean, it was like, hey, what was this guy? This guy eats everything, he smokes, he drinks.
Well, you know, I always look at people like that and I say to myself, if a Jackie Gleason took care of himself, he could have been like Superman.
Yeah, he could have lived to 250 years old. God.
But I love this, that they were saying, you know, he was just getting ready for that role on Married with Children, playing a man.
Wow.
And, he was a bag of nerves about it.
Wow, I'm finally going to be a man. Yeah, well, just think, at least 3 people would have seen that. That Fox network is really taking off. They're making a big deal because they had the Gary Shandling show and it did well in New York. Yeah, what was the radio promo they were running, Channel 5? I heard it on this station.
I don't remember the radio one. I just saw the ones on TV off and on this weekend where Gary would just get on and say, so my show's coming on the Fox network. Watch it.
Yeah. And then the radio one was, now I remember what it was. It's probably here somewhere. He gets on and he goes, okay, hey, we're going to do a radio commercial for my TV show. And what do I want to say to you about my TV show and radio? Hey, I don't know. You know, it's like, hey, you don't know? I don't know. I'm not going to watch it.
Right.
I watched it, though, actually. Me and my wife watched about 10 minutes of it. I had seen that one. I've seen one Gary Shandling show.
And they played that.
And they played that one. It was the first one that they sent around to everyone as an example of their work.
Yeah. So that's what I figured, that they're getting the ones from like a year ago and playing them on Fox, and he'll still have the new ones on Showtime.
My wife said to me sarcastically, boy, this is certainly innovative. Because, so he talked to the TV set.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it wasn't all that innovative. But, it was okay. But by the way, that review is based on me having seen the show.
That was a comment. That was in your comments column,
right.
Not your review column.
Yeah, there's 2 separate columns going on here. What else is in the news, Robin?
Oh, well, you know, today is Super Tuesday.
Super!
They're going to have about 20 primaries going on down south. And this should be, you know, do or die week for a lot of the presidential candidates. Nobody knows really what's going to happen, but they expect Bush to win big in the South.
Ugh.
And for Dole to have to rethink his attitude about becoming president of the United States, because he's not going to do very well. And they think if he can last out Super Tuesday, maybe then he'll wait for the Illinois primary to recoup some of those losses and to regain some momentum. Meanwhile, there's a question of just how well Pat Robertson is going to do.
Let's hope he doesn't get any votes.
Yeah, well, they're thinking now that maybe he's not as strong a Southern candidate as everybody thought. Maybe those Southerners deserve more credit than we've been giving them.
Maybe also the Jimmy Swaggart factor.
That could have something to do with it. But they expect Dole and Bush to be the big contenders, and Bush to do very well, and that Pat Robertson may not be a factor at all. So we'll have to see about that. Meanwhile, on the Democratic side...
Plus, Pat Robertson's been acting awfully wacky.
Yes, he has.
Yeah,
he's been saying some pretty wild things.
He got involved in this weird lawsuit where some guy called him like a draft evader and stuff, and then he said, "No, I'm not. I'm going to sue you." And then he backed down off the lawsuit.
Yeah.
And then he acted real wacky about it and then made up a whole bunch of stories about it.
Yeah, he said that it gave him the opportunity to sue this guy later, that he was dropping the suit because of Super Tuesday, and he'd have had to been in court, on this very important day.
Yeah.
And that he could sue the guy later when, in fact, the judge made him, as a part of the settlement, made him promise not to sue this guy on the same grounds ever again.
Yeah. So he goes, well, the judge says I could. He just makes up stuff, this Pat Robertson. He's like real weird.
Well, it's because he believes it, Howard. Whatever he believes is fact.
Yeah. Like Kay Gardella.
Yes. So anyway, Jesse Jackson and Michael Dukakis are supposed to do best. Dukakis, of course, coming out on top in the primaries down south, they think. Super Tuesday's over.
I think I sort of like Dukakis, and I don't even know why. You know what I mean? It just seems less threatening to me personally
than anyone else running.
Yeah, I mean, and everything to me is like whether or not the guy will come in and tell the FCC to get their ass on me again. You know what I mean? That's all I think about. I don't even care about the economy. I don't care about any of that stuff. All I care about is our radio show and how the candidates are going to impact on our radio show.
At this point, that has become the major issue for you.
Isn't that weird? I mean, that's all I think. I think Dukakis is more likely to at least come to his senses and remember this is America. And then if somebody wants to comment on something that they can. But you never know. Sometimes the Democrats get real wacky and start... And, they're all for government controls and all that kind of crap.
Well, that's the thing about the Democrats. They want to be so liberal at every juncture that they don't want to scare people to death, so they do silly things like try to regulate radio.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe Bob Dole. I don't know. And then this Albert Gore, they say he might do well down south. I go, wait a second. The only thing people know about this guy is that his dopey wife started that PMRC thing.
Yeah.
Tipper. And now Tipper's backpedaling.
Because she doesn't want to hurt her husband's chances.
Yeah, right. So She's saying, well, I was just sort of kidding around. I
like rock and roll.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. I like it. It's just, I figured, well, maybe we should put a warning on a record just in case. Okay. That's all you were up to. Right. Looked pretty frightening there for a while.
I never wanted censorship.
Yeah, I don't know, man. So that guy's kind of weird. I'm glad this is all backfiring in his face because now all anyone knows about him is his wife.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, he looks awfully clean cut and everything, but, I don't know, he's a little too yuppie or preppy. Now, this guy, Dukakis, looks like he's had some trouble with his eyebrows, and maybe he hasn't been able
to keep them under control.
Yeah. Maybe he's had some personal problems. This is good, I like that.
Yeah. He's human.
Yeah, he looks human to me. But I don't know, I don't know. I don't even know if he'd be any good, but I figure maybe I'll vote for him because he won't regulate this.
Maybe he would just keep because he's a good manager. That's what I think. Maybe he just run the country and leave everything else alone. Just make sure everything runs smoothly and not mess with anything.
Yeah, maybe he'd be good. Who knows? I don't know.
So confused.
As long as it's not Bob Dole or Bush or Pat Robertson.
Well, Pat Robertson is the scariest of the bunch. He makes you start to consider Bush and Dole as sort of reasonable when you think about him.
Oh, man.
That's what's scary. Meanwhile, Masters and Johnson came out yesterday.
Hey, I applaud that.
Oh, Howard.
I applaud the Masters and Johnson.
Said that AIDS is running rampant in the heterosexual community.
Got that straight.
And that AIDS could be transmitted by kissing.
That's right. And I've always maintained that.
But still, Howard, they are not basing this on scientific fact. When Dr. Masters or Johnson or whichever one's the doctor was asked what they based that on, he said, sort of a Pat Robertson kind of thing and said, well, I believe it.
Yeah. No, I believe it too. It just seems to me if body fluids is body fluids. And
here's a statement.
Hey, you can make a poster out of that. I'll give you permission. Body fluids is body fluids. And any fluid that's why I get upset, like even in the K-Rock bathroom. You should see what I bought.
What?
Because they were now saying you can get it from a toilet seat, which I've always maintained, because if you have a cut on your ass, you can get AIDS from a toilet seat.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I won't even ask you how
If there's blood on your ass, hey, what can I tell you? So,
smoke in the water.
I've got these toilet seat covers, man. These very happening toilet seat covers.
Really?
Yeah, really decent.
You get all this neat little stuff, and you keep it to yourself, like you want to be the last man alive.
Yeah.
I think this is what your whole ambition is.
I don't know, but I just don't want to get AIDS from a toilet seat. If I get AIDS, I want to get it from making love to a woman.
Uh-huh.
I want to get it from having some fun.
Yes. Well, that's what I always say about AIDS patients. I say, gee, I hope you're having fun. And speaking of that, that's what it was about Jesse Jackson. I said, I know I heard something about Jesse Jackson that I wanted to comment on. And I said, you know, this man is so desperate to get votes that he actually hugged an AIDS patient yesterday.
Yeah, well, he is wild, that guy. And why don't we take a break right here? We must take a break right here. And then when we come back, do a little more news. Richard Simmons coming in. Yes, we are playing the Kay Gardella phone call. Everybody stay tuned. Get the tape recorders rolling, you reporters, because when you hear this, maybe you'll see that I'm not totally out of my mind when I scream about this woman. We'll be back right after these words. I got a lot of information, actually, this morning.
Yeah, I want to get to those reviews, too, of the television show.
Good reviews of the television show, and also... I got a Jimmy Swaggart against porno article. That's pretty funny.
Oh, great.
It's about 30 pages long. Jimmy Swaggart.
The good old days. Remember those?
Yeah, written a year ago. Only a year ago.
When Jimmy Swaggart was against pornography.
Yep. And you know that Jimmy Swaggart, this is just the tip of the iceberg with this dude.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're saying, okay, he went to a prostitute and he watched some girls screw around.
Uh-huh.
You know, a guy who goes to a prostitute just doesn't go one time. You know, you're up to a lot of crap. Once you know what I mean?
Yeah, oh yeah, there's lots of, check under the bed and in the sock drawer. There's some things happening.
There's lots of wacky stuff going on in your life. If you're going to, like, prostitutes and throwing them out of cars naked.
Right, yeah.
I mean, it's not like this is the only thing going on in your life. You can expect some more stuff.
Check that phone bill for some...
phone sex. Oh, hello. Who's this?
He was probably the guy who was writing to Congress to try to stop the FCC from giving out those numbers.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't get those calls anymore.
Who is this, Candida? I got a cool article on how the station in Philly, not our station, our competition, WMMR, how they're getting wiped out financially.
Really?
And they're probably going to be sold. They are going to be sold.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so I got a pretty neat thing about that. It's a pretty good rumor going around that they're going to be sold. We pretty much destroyed them also. Anyway, we're doing a little news. Richard Simmons due here. I wasn't going to have a guest on today because I think all week we need just to catch up on a lot of the things we got to do.
Yeah.
But I figured when it's Richard Simmons, it's a different thing.
You can't say no to a Richard Simmons.
No, not that kind of guest. Not that kind of credibility with us.
But when you yell like that, Howard, it just reminded me over the weekend as I was driving around, I'd hear the promo. You know, if you missed the last Howard Stern show, you missed blah, 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 blah. And you were yelling at Lou Reed through the megaphone.
Lou Reed!
Sweet Jane!
Sweet Jane, heroin!
Sweet Jane!
Heroin!
I started on heroin. I thought it was very funny.
Yeah, poor Robin was hiding under the table. But it just annoyed me that Lou Reed, of all people, was copying an attitude. Here's a guy who wasn't he dressed as a woman in Transformer?
Yeah.
I mean, he was a pretty wild guy. I mean, all of a sudden, Lou Reed's gone serious?
And then I watched the actual Grammy Awards, and I said, Lou Reed really ought to lighten up.
Yeah, it's really kind of disheartening, man, to see a guy who's that intense. Like, have some fun, Lou. Lighten up with the image.
There he is singing behind Dion. You thought it was an axe murder. You were saying, Dion, watch your back.
Careful, it's Lou Reed. Look out, Lou Reed. I tried to warn Dion. Yeah, he's real intense. Yeah. Hey, come on, have some fun. Even Buster Poindexter was sort of like David Johansen was sort of like,
come on.
Yeah, David Johansen was sort of like, man, I don't know what's with Lou.
Yeah, lighten up, Lou.
Yeah, it's not all that funny.
I'm telling you. But what is very serious is Kids Who Kill, Howard. I'm sitting here reading. There's a new book out by some psychologist or psychiatrist who says there's an upshoot in the number of kids who are turning on their families. Last month, a 16-year-old in Minnesota was arrested after his parents, brother, sister, and the rest of the family were hacked to death with an axe.
Yeah.
In California, Tom and Janice Colella are underground, terrified that an 18-year-old boy they adopted at the age of 7 might track them down. Oh, no, I didn't make it through this story.
Richard, take a seat.
Starts spreading the news.
Oh, no.
Hey, man, how about tucking your wiener into your shorts?
You
You look good.
It is not summer yet, Richard.
Yeah, he's wearing shorts and
38 pounds.
he's heavily perfumed.
Oh, stop it. Now, wait a moment.
What smell are you trying to hide, for God's sakes, with that perfume, Richard?
Don't you want to come here?
Uh-oh, it's
no.
time for a hug.
Yeah. Start spreading the news.
Good to see you, Richard.
Congratulations on the success of your cable show.
Thank you.
No, I got off the plane into the airport, and guys said, are you going to be on the Howard Stern show? And they call me some word I don't like. Dick! That's what they call me in the airport.
And don't punch
And
me.
they
Some
said-
guy calls him Dick. He punches me.
And they said that your show was funny, it was
Thank you.
wonderful, and a lot of people watched it.
Yes.
Thousands of people.
Great.
And you were on it.
Yes.
Of course.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
Of course she
I
was
am
on it.
so excited
All right,
for
sit
you.
down, will you?
Thank you, Richard.
Sit down, you maniac.
Welcome.
God.
Richard Simmons, ladies
Robin,
and
come
gentlemen.
in here and give me a kiss. Come here.
Well, wait a minute.
Wait till the
we're
commercial.
In a
I
minute.
just missed you all.
Just sit down, will you?
Goodness.
But I have such surprises for you.
He's got on these little jogging shorts, and his whole schlong is hanging
You
out
know,
of it.
Richard, it's a pleasure to
Show
see you
off.
in the morning.
What a tease with that schlong of yours, huh?
First
God,
of all,
do you realize that it sticks out like that?
It's true what they say about men in the morning, huh?
guys.
Yeah. Have you gone to the bathroom yet, Richard?
Today is Super Tuesday. You have to get in a positive mood. So you know
Have
what
you
I
gone to
did?
the bathroom yet this morning?
Stop it, Howard.
I mean,
And what is that satchel?
Guys,
what are you doing?
Guys.
It is is that what you call
In
it, a
the car.
satchel? I call it a package.
I was in the car and I heard what you said about Divine. Then I want you. You know how I feel about this.
Yes.
I haven't seen you for several months now, but you know my standing. You
What is
know
your
that,
standing?
Howard.
I know. I see you standing.
First of all,
Your whole package is standing. What is that? A beer can in your pants?
No, first of all,
Yeah.
Howard, just apologize.
To who?
Why don't you just start the show off?
Who am I
with saying
apologizing
you're
to?
Sorry.
To
just
who?
to all of us that maybe you've hurt.
Get out of here. You're nuts. You know that? You really are nuts. You've lost a lot of weight.
You look great.
Well, my shoulder's all better, so I got to go back to my exercise.
Because it was getting a little weird to have a fat exercise guru. Oh, wait a second.
Now, you know I was injured.
You got injured. Richard had a chandelier fall on his
see it?
shoulder. Let me see.
Want to see the scar?
He's always showing us the scar.
Here, look at that. Oof.
It's a big scar.
You would have thought he was in the war the way he shows you that. You know what I mean?
A shrapnel wound.
This is my war injury.
Well, no, but I was almost killed. I mean, if
You
you were
were.
almost killed, I would be a little bit more compassionate.
Let me just say
but
something.
I see now that it doesn't work that way.
What happened to Richard
me
was
that.
frightening.
Give me that.
Richard was at a party.
No, I was not at a party. I was at a shopping mall.
Oh, you were at a
I
shopping
was
mall?
at a party. I was in the middle of a shopping mall.
And a
with
chandelier
about
fell on
30
you.
people in wheelchairs on stage, and there was too many people in the mall.
30
and the
people in wheelchairs on stage.
No,
they all were under the. I guess they were all under chandeliers.
Howard.
Yeah.
Now, wait a moment.
Yeah.
You know I have exercise studios for people who are physically challenged.
I still don't get that.
Now, wait a moment.
I know if I was in a wheelchair, I would never exercise.
Oh,
Howard, do you know what I saw?
Would. Howard,
the other
look
day?
at me. Howard,
What did you see, Robin?
Howard, look at.
I saw a guy who is wheelchair bound skiing.
No, that's ridiculous.
Yes, yes.
That's not skiing. How was he
Howard.
skiing?
He was on a platform stuck on two skis.
Howard.
Was he standing up?
No.
Well, that's not skiing, then,
Howard,
is it?
stop it.
Stop what?
Stop making fun
Don't
of
tell me
physically
that's skiing.
challenged. Now listen
Don't tell
to
me. I know guys in wheelchairs. Some of my best friends are in wheelchairs, but they know enough not to get on skis.
Howard.
What?
Guess
What, you're here already?
Guess who I got to meet? Michael Jackson. I'm
Oh,
staying in
no.
the same hotel. I have never
Here in
met
New
him
York?
before.
Is
Yeah.
he still in New York?
Yeah, he's here.
Let's call him. And we had his manager on with us the other
Frank
day.
DeLeo.
Frank DeLeo. God, did that guy step in a lucky puddle? I swear
So
to God.
anyway,
But you should talk to him, Richard.
so I said to him, you know,
Did you get alone in the room with Michael Jackson?
Shut up!
No,
Stop it!
No, I don't
Did
mean
you
anything
see
bad.
that guy?
You know, Robin, I can't believe you haven't seen me for a couple months and everything, and you didn't even come in here and say hello or anything.
You
Maybe
know
since
I'm going to
the
come
She's
in
on
and
the
say
air.
hello as soon
What's
as
wrong
we
with you?
take a
Since
break.
the television show, you've become
Oh,
a little bit
no.
like Oprah.
Oh,
Maybe
what?
What? Maybe for just a moment, success has gone to your afro, and you, my dear, won't even walk in the room now that you've done a cable show.
No, we shall walk in the room
So I said
later.
to Michael Jackson,
Yeah.
your hair really looks nice.
No,
Oh, stop
no,
it.
liar.
It did. I was in the elevator with him. I was up close. I was as close as
Oh, you were in the elevator.
We were going up.
Who was in there? Frank DeLeo with him?
Oh, there was a bunch of people.
Bald guy with a ponytail?
I said, wait a minute. I'm
Bald guy with a ponytail.
You hear all these stories. I'm like, I said, God, your hair really looks great. And he said, just a minute. And he went to his room and bought me the stuff he puts in his hair.
Oh, God.
I was very
What is
impressed.
that?
What is that stuff?
It's called
Bull
Sebastian
semen.
Holden mold.
What is it?
Holden
It's called
mold.
Sebastian Holden mold. And you spray it in your hair like this. Watch. I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. What do you think?
You used it this
So did you
morning?
I used it. You look at that.
Your
look at
hair
that one.
does look good.
No, doesn't it?
Yeah,
no,
I like-
come
Look like
on,
Michael
it does.
Jackson.
Say something nice, Howard.
I like that curl that comes down all the way into
That's
your
the
nose.
Michael Jackson curl.
That's nice.
Now,
It does
you
look
know
good.
what? Since all of you couldn't come to the, have you ever been to the Helmsley Palace?
No.
No, we hate Leona.
Well, I wanted to show you.
Leona's a real bitch. When we
I
saw her
brought-
dressing down that Puerto Rican...
Stop it. I brought a little tour of the Helmsley Palace for you here. Now, upon your arrival in the bathroom, look what's there waiting for you.
What?
Isn't that
Flowering.
beautiful? It's just a beautiful baby pink rose in a glass bowl. Now,
That's
wait.
Leona's idea of a
Look
fancy...
at these.
The Leona Helmsley
These
ice
are-
bucket.
Wait a minute. These are white patent leather ice buckets. Aren't these lovely?
What, are they giving you a free
With the
room?
lucite top. Now, wait.
Richard's redecorating his home,
Now,
Howard.
wait a moment. You've been to a lot of hotels.
Hey, Richard,
but
no wonder you
I
smell.
want
No wonder you
to
smell.
see-
That's this
listen,
hair stuff. You
look,
should smell it.
Oh, really?
I want you to see the size of the towels for Leona.
What are you, their
Is-
new representative?
No, but I wanted to take you through a little tour.
Where is Leona? Is she back in the country now?
Isn't this lovely?
Did
Oh,
she
wait,
greet
no,
you?
wait.
Did the Queen greet you?
I think the Queen is incognito right now. Isn't the government after her?
Every room.
In every room, a
there are
frightening
little
picture of
pictures
Leona Helmsley.
of Leona
Don't go
that
in
says,
this room.
A good hotel makes a grand gift. But how do you wrap it? Really cute. Look at these. Look at these cute. Now,
You
wait.
know, if you don't want the maid to come in the morning, you put that on the
You know
door.
how you get those.
She looks like Liberace.
You know the.
Look at her.
Stop it. Wait, look at these nice ashtrays. Look at these.
Would you steal
Those
everything?
are sturdy. These aren't those little ones with like a little decal.
Now,
Richard,
you know, Leona's going
Now,
to
look.
fire somebody because
You don't
Richard
even
raided
have
the
to get up
room.
in the room.
oh,
Look what
at
it
the
comes with.
Look at the clicker, the television clicker,
Look what a nice
a
television
Zenith.
clicker.
Yeah, but that's your room.
Now.
That's
look
your
at the
suite,
silverware.
probably.
Here.
Oh, no,
Come here.
Richard.
I want you to. But wait a minute. This isn't like one of those sets you get from a hotel. Look at these. Look. Look at these.
Where did you get this silverware from? Room service?
Pardon me?
No, he took it from the restaurant.
Yeah, you stick it in his little bag there.
Now look. Here's my favorite.
Hey, why don't we steal some deal-a-meal cards from Richard now?
Yeah.
Now look at this.
She's into stealing.
No, I'm taking all of this back.
Okay.
But look, it lists all the lovely shops and all the restaurants near the St.
Why are you doing a
Patrick's.
commercial for Leona Helmsley right now, man?
He gets the
I'm
room
not
free,
doing a
obviously.
commercial. I wanted you to see what the room looked
What are you,
like.
sick? You were out of your mind this morning. You're out of
Kay
your
Gardella's
mind.
going to have a
Here's a
fit if
gift
she
for you.
hears this.
Yeah.
There's a gift for you, and I have one
A
for
Richard
Robin.
Simmons cookbook?
Oh,
This is my
thank
new
you.
deal-a-meal
Your new
cookbook.
deal-a-meal cookbook?
Don't you want to know I was in town?
It's just like a Howard Johnson's menu. You get pictures of all the food.
You get pictures of every recipe. Isn't that nice?
You know
And
what,
I'm gonna-
Richard? You make the food
I'm going to
look too
give my
pretty.
address later, and the first 20 people that write, I'm going to send a deal-a-meal cookbook. Isn't that fun? Now, guess what I was doing in town?
What?
Why don't we take a break and then we'll find out what you're up
Wait a
to?
minute, are we doing a commercial?
Yeah, let me do
What
a
is
commercial.
it?
It's a recorded
Let's do
commercial.
It. No, let's do it live.
We'll do it when we come
We're
back.
here. Come on, let's do it live.
When
Hey,
we come
listen
back,
here,
you do a
Peter
live
Pan.
one,
What are you?
okay?
You're all revved up today.
Because
Here I
I'm
was.
so happy to be here.
Let's
I
do
look
it.
forward.
Let's do it
When
live.
I hear
Richard.
of New York, I hear of Howard. Hold your hat. I mean, I get excited that I'm coming to see you.
Hey, and you got to tell us what happened with that big fatso that you were helping the last time you were here that you
The
raised
one
some
who
money
was stuck
for.
at the camp or something? Oh, come
Where you
on,
going?
Richard. Don't
Sit
walk.
down.
Come back here. Oh,
Sit
dear.
down.
We got to catch him.
All right, we'll be back right after these words. You lease a car, don't you?
Absolutely.
You do, right? For
I
Richard
lease-
Simmons Incorporated? Isn't there a Richard Simmons
I just
Incorporated?
got my new car. I just leased my new car.
Don't you have
I
a
just-
limo?
Well, every 3 years I get a car.
Every 3 years you get a car. What is that, a Mercedes or something?
Pardon me?
Mercedes?
I have a Range Rover.
Oh, Range
Because
Rover.
of all the dogs. I have 6 Dalmatians.
I know.
So, I mean, I have to
That's
take...
sort of a weird thing, don't you think? I could see having 1 or 2 dogs, but when you start having 6, I think it's a little strange.
That's
What
just
is
like
that all
saying,
about?
Howard, that if you wear your hair 2 inches, it's okay, but if it's 6 inches or 8 inches...
Nah,
like
come
yours,
on.
it's
Be
wrong.
honest.
No, I'm being... There's nothing on... Don't you want to have 6 kids if you could afford it? And
Dogs
really
are
spend
not
time with
kids.
them and everything? Huh?
Dogs are not children, Richard. A
They're
lot of
my
guys,
children, and
a lot
I
of
think
unmarried
people who are listening
guys,
right now who have a dog.
a lot of unmarried guys I notice this, get like 6 dogs.
Oh, Howard, you know that is so gross.
Because they go, oh, these are my babies.
Well, you know, I've been thinking about that same thing here. I have no responsibility. I'm thinking of getting a dog and starting a
Wait
family.
a moment, they're a big
Yeah.
responsibility.
And then he goes around telling everyone how it's like a
dogs
family.
are only one level under humans.
Oh, listen to this.
They would
A
evolve.
gorilla is on one level under human. A gorilla. You know what it is? A sperm whale.
Do you have a
is,
dog?
No. I had a dog for a day. I have a cat. I have
You
one
can't be
cat.
You know what?
I've got children,
I have
Richard.
To just say this and just get it out. You two have changed since the special.
What?
The special must have gone to your head.
Oh, Richard, don't
I mean,
be
just
silly.
because like 650,000 people paid $28 to see your show.
We're multimillionaires
All of a sudden now there is a change.
Yeah.
I feel a Scott Shannon coming on
Oh,
right in this room.
stop it.
I do. I hear a change. There's a change.
Wait a
from
second.
it.
Do you see a piece of skin growing under my chin? And
No, you're getting a second head.
Yeah, I'm growing a second head as Scott Shannon is popping up.
Do you lease your car?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do lease
What
a
do you
car.
drive?
I lease a Jeep.
I have a Jeep too.
Yes, yes. And
What
the
color
Jeep-
is yours?
Black.
Oh, I have a white one.
Yeah.
See, good guys, bad guys.
You got to develop your chest muscles.
Oh, look at now.
Feel
this.
that bicep.
Look at that chest.
I have never feel this.
That's good.
Come on, feel. Oh, Howard. That's Howard.
I just squeezed his nips.
Howard.
What?
Now you see.
You got to work
see,
on those chest muscles.
You
They're
have
sagging.
changed. You can't say anything nice. You can't walk
You
in
look
and say,
fabulous.
Richard, you really look good. Richard,
You
you,
look
really take
fabulous.
care of yourself. But
Did you have a
just
nose
all
job?
Of a sudden, just try to find. After I gave you a complete.
Did you have a nose
tour
job?
of the Helmsley Palace?
Is that a nose job?
No,
on you?
that is
No?
my nose, and I know that is your nose.
I'm thinking of going in for one. I'm almost going to go in for a nose
Let
job.
me see.
He's into nose
You could go to-
sculpting now, right?
Let me see.
Yeah.
Give me a profile. Give me a profile. If you and Barbara Streisand dated, you'd never kiss.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Oh,
serious.
That's funny. That's funny. That's
People
real funny.
who love noses.
Yeah.
You can go to a plastic surgeon now, and instead of buying a new nose,
Hey, I heard you
just
on the
lease
Sherry Henry show. I didn't hear you interrupting every 2 seconds.
Who?
Sherry Henry, that one on WOR. What's her name? Sherry.
Joan Hamburg.
Oh, Joan Hamburg, yeah. Which one is Sherry Henry, Robin?
She's another one. Just she's not Joan Hamburg.
Oh.
Well, let's talk about
I thought they were the same person. He's still holding up a picture of Leona Helmsley, who I can't stand. The way she marches that old best. I mean, that whole.
But I'll tell you.
The way she marches that old man around. I don't know. Leona Helmsley.
Harry.
Harry. Did you see the 60 Minutes where Leona Helmsley?
I can't even believe that neither of you even sent me a tape of the show.
What show? I'm sending you a videotape. It's coming out.
No, let me say this first.
Do you have a credit card? Give me your credit card.
First of all, let me say this.
What? Would you like to order one?
You know I love being here with you.
Right.
I know that when I leave, you tear me into small shreds and throw me around the room like confetti. Wait a minute, I know these things, but I adore you, Howard Stern.
Right, I know. You're a pig.
What did he do?
He just drank like toilet water.
You know what? I
You
did
have no
not.
shame, man.
You were just jealous that Michael Jackson gave me his Holden mold.
Yeah, we're
and
smelling
you didn't
Michael
get
Jackson.
any.
Is that really true? Is that what he uses on his hair?
That's what he gave me. I'm very.
Hold on, I'll run to my room. Oh, he's so sweet. He ran to his room.
Didn't you go to his? Didn't you go to his show?
Of course
Didn't
not.
you go to the?
Of course not. What am I going to do there?
Oh, it was a wonderful
You are
show.
so out of it, man. It's
Seriously.
frightening.
It
You're
was a
becoming like a
wonderful
Jewish
show.
grandmother. I swear to God. You really.
It was a very, just because I'm nice, I'm a Jewish grandmother. Fine. I'm happy to be a Jewish grandmother. I hope in my next life I come back as a Jewish grandmother.
Talk like a man today, for God's sakes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't know he could talk like that.
Of course he could talk like that. What do you think? You think that's natural when he puts that affect
No,
on?
no, Howard, no.
Come on.
When I reach puberty, no.
Yeah, right. What do you think? This is a real voice?
I thought
this
this
is the
was
real
his
voice.
lower
Yeah,
original.
that's real, right.
Let's tell the people about the personal phone call that I got from you. Remember, he called me out of the blue. He was very nice. We had a long talk. Sent me a beautiful clock. It was
From
on
where?
sale at Sharper Image.
From where?
But it was a beautiful clock. Sharper Image. It was on sale half price. Because I called
which
New
clock
York.
which clock did I send you?
Oh,
Jesus, what did it look
I
like?
guess I'm just on your clock list.
No, which
Oh,
clock?
let me think of the people that got on your clock.
No, which clock did I send you?
You sent me a...
The wall clock, the one that
No. Forget. Oh,
illuminates.
I don't
the wall?
want to talk about it. Comes in, makes fun of me, puts me down right
I sent
away,
you a
then
gift.
sends me a present and says, "Which clock was it?"
I forgot.
Real nice.
I send a lot
Real
of gifts.
nice.
I forget which one I sent
Oh, yeah,
you.
he does a lot of shopping.
No, I told my wife, go out and buy Richard Simmons a clock. And she did. Was it a nice one at least?
I guess you never even saw it.
I know it was a few $100s. So don't sit here and bitch like I didn't spend any money on you.
It was $62.50 on sale.
Get lost. What a lying.
It was a beautiful clock. It was. I'll explain it to you.
So how are your puppies?
I'll explain it. Let me explain it.
Yeah, you got to ask about the family.
Yeah, how are your dogs?
They're fine. Okay. It was a beautiful silver clock.
Right.
And then inside were 4 colors that turned.
Right.
So, like when the blue and the yellow got together, it was a green. And then when the green and the
You
red
like it?
got together, it
Is
was
that
an
how you tell
orange.
time?
Then when the
I can't-
orange and the cream got together, it was like a light hand.
I didn't know he knew how to read time, so I
Then
figured
all
him
of a
out.
sudden, when you took that and mixed it with the green, it was like a kind of a amber. It's very pretty.
Just that Richard started sending me all these gifts. I figured, well, I'm obligated to send him one now.
I gotta drop my water. Excuse me.
Would you drop water on the equipment?
Oh my God! Look, there's Shelley Winters. Get her! It's swimming. It's swimming.
You just spilled water all over the equipment. And now the engineers won't let us eat in here anymore because Richard...
Richard, what are you doing?
What a nut.
Listen, I'm going to
So
tell you why
anyway-
I was here. I went. This was the most unbelievable experience. Now, you've been Jewish all your life, haven't you?
Half Jewish.
You're half Jewish.
Yeah.
Which half?
Well,
Top,
is your mother
obviously.
Jewish?
my mother is Jewish. No,
Did you-
my mother is not Jewish.
No, that's not true. Your
I'm being
mother
serious.
is Jewish.
No, absolutely.
Get her
Ask
on the
Robin.
phone. Get her on the phone.
You know what it is? It's years and years of,
Get her on
of
My mother was-
living around Jewish
Your mother
people.
is not.
My mother was raped by a
Get
Jew.
her on the phone. Let's talk to her for
My
1
mother was
second.
raped by a Jew.
Oh, stop!
I am
it.
dead
That is
serious.
So,
I am-
You know what?
What? Well, I'm serious about
I
it.
could tell it's people like you who didn't see Yentl a couple times. Now,
I'm being serious.
is your mother Jewish?
No. No, she's Italian. She's Italian. What do you want from me?
Howard
He's looking at me thinking, my wife. My
What
father
are you
is Jewish.
saying,
Okay.
Richard?
Howard Stern. We don't use my mother's maiden name. My mother's maiden name is Gardella.
It is not.
It is.
It is.
Yes.
That's about the weirdest name I think.
I
I've ever
know.
heard. Gardella.
Isn't that horrible?
Terrible Gardella. Yeah, down the side of my
thing she
neck.
got
I had to see the doctor.
It's hideous.
Yesterday, I got the experience of my life.
Really?
First of all, I went to my first synagogue.
Ooh.
It's called the Park East Synagogue.
You never went to synagogue? You're a Jew and you never went to a synagogue?
I was raised Catholic.
Funny that a Jewish boy would be raised Catholic.
What was in your mother's mind?
My mother was Jewish. My father was Catholic. And I was raised in New Orleans, and Catholic school was the best. So I went to Catholic school, and then I became Catholic, and then I even went to seminary.
Looks like David Berkowitz was raised Catholic.
And then I met my
Son of
cousin,
Sam is
Bobby
raised
Cohen,
Catholic.
and I said, "How could you be my cousin? Your name is Bobby Cohen." He says, "Because your mother and my mother are sisters." And that's how I found out I was Jewish. I was 19 years old.
Huh.
Your mother kept that from you.
What a
Yes.
shock. Let's hide this.
No, it's no shock, but I got to go in my... You've been in a synagogue.
Boy, what a turnaround for his mother. Now she's in Century Village with all the Jews. I mean, it's like...
I go there tomorrow for the Senior Olympics.
Super.
Now, the Park East Synagogue is a landmark in New York. It is one of the oldest
I'd
synagogues.
kill myself before I go to Century Village.
Have you seen? No, you wouldn't.
No,
No,
no.
wait
It's
for
gorgeous.
those.
You've never been there.
I know.
And you would buy your mother one there. Did you buy your mother a condominium?
I'll buy my mother one there just to get rid of her.
Nice half Jewish boy. Did you buy your mother a condominium?
My mother wouldn't go there.
Oh,
She says
your
it's all,
mother.
my mother would not go to Century Village. She
You know
says
what
too
I'm
many
saying?
old people.
Excuse me. You know what I'm going to do? Smart mouth.
It's great to have a golf course when you're too old to golf.
You know
But
what?
can you imagine
That's
what the
it.
Senior
That's
Olympics
it.
are going to be
Senior
like?
Olympics.
Oh, I have people.
You're going there tomorrow for Senior Olympics?
I have people from 70 to 94 competing in 16 different.
How long you can sit and stay awake?
You're going to be old one day, Howard.
What are the sports that they compete in?
Oh, everything. Basketball.
It's so patronizing to watch
Tennis.
old. Like, you ever see like 65-year-old people pay?
Robin, help me with this. They're brilliant. Help me with this.
And someone makes a basket. The score is like 7-3. Oh man.
You are, since you're special.
No. Absolutely. What about the 3-yard dash?
Wait a moment.
Tell people about that.
Stop it. I'm in the Park East Synagogue to do a deal and meal lecture to raise money.
Deal of me a lecture. Like, what is it? Like the theory of relativity. Deal of me a lecture. What? It's hard to understand. I'm looking at the book. Yeah, you got the ingredients and you eat it.
Wait a minute.
Deal of me a lecture.
Just a minute.
What?
Maybe
you said on the TV commercial.
Maybe I should leave.
No, absolutely
Do you want
not.
me to leave?
You said on the TV commercial that it was easy to follow Deal a Meal. Now you have to get a lecture?
Well, there was.
And I wanted to say, you're getting a little bit like a TV evangelist in those commercials.
There was about 300 Jewish ladies there who were raising money for a hospital in Israel, which I think something very nice.
Yeah.
It's called Shari Zadok. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong because I don't know how to read Jewish.
The Jews.
Shaare. What is
it? The Jews have a secret language?
No, but it's Hebrew.
What
it is a sacred language. It is sacred.
English.
It is sacred. It is Torah time. It is sacred.
Now, what is it? Give me these words. I know some Jewish.
Shaare. What is that?
Shari.
And Zedek.
Zadoosh.
No, that's not. Oh, Howard,
Zadoosh.
Now we're talking about religion, Howard. Isn't there? Oh, shouldn't there be some kind of barrier? Now, we raised money, and they've asked me to go to Israel to teach exercise classes in May. I am thrilled. Have you been to Israel?
First of all, let me tell you something about Israel. Let me tell you something about Israel.
Howard, they say, go to Israel.
Yeah, right. Do me a favor.
What?
The Jews in Israel are... Do you know, first of all, they are so high-strung. They're not going to sit next to you. You know how many packs of cigarettes they smoke a day over there? They got Arabs surrounding them.
Howard, have you been there?
No, absolutely not. I would never go there.
Talk about it.
I would never go to Israel.
Oh, why not? It's our...
Oh, yeah, I'll get on a bus and get bombed.
Little Catholic boy?
We talked about one small incident.
One small incident? It happens every day.
It does?
Of course it does.
Well,
Don't
maybe
you read
won't
the
happen in the
paper?
neighborhood.
I want to go to Israel.
Did you hear what happened to Schultz?
I do want to go to Israel because they eat so much fattening food there.
And then I'm reading.
It takes like 3 people to bring the kugel to the table.
They're angry at the Jews because they kill a few Palestinians. It's like, well, of course they kill them. What are you going to do with them?
No, seriously.
They're only going to kill you.
I know there's a big war there, and I just want to go and help raise money for the hospital because people are getting hurt.
What hospital?
Shari
Zadek.
I think the Jews should move out of Israel. I really do.
What do you mean move out of Israel? It's their home.
And start a homeland in like Arizona.
Somewhere where people won't fight with them.
There's one in Florida.
Make Century Village the homeland of the Jews.
Yes. I think it is.
It's too many hassles. There's too many Arabs outside of Century Village. They're going to start surrounding Century Village. So,
yeah, we should set this country up like the world.
Richard, we're just kidding. We love Century Village.
Come on, of course we do.
I'm going there. You should see how happy these people. And this year we have a new event.
What is it?
So, you know what? I used to really like you, but you have been so nasty to me today.
No, what is the event?
Oh, it's so exciting. The cheerleader event.
You're such a wise ass.
Each of the
someone wants to see that magic.
You know, the old ladies in those little skirts.
And they're all cheerleaders, and they have to do a cheer.
Yeah. 2, 4, 6, 8. I forgot.
Stop it. Oh,
2, 4, 6, 8.
Howard.
2, 4, 6, 8.
Howard, I am so excited. I love silver foxes. They're the nicest people, and you learn.
And they look so nice in those outfits.
Yes.
Can you see them in a pyramid?
Yes. An old person's pyramid. Squatting.
You know what I'm very upset about?
What?
What?
You all.
Let me take a commercial break.
Just when I get upset, you want to sell something.
No. We'll come back and we're going to hear it. So what exactly are you promoting?
I'm not promoting anything. I just came to be part of your life for a little while.
We love it. I want to get back to Michael Jackson. You've had so many exciting...
I'm really upset about Walter Hudson.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we'll talk about that also.
We should call him for Richard.
Well, Richard wants a... This proves Richard's point. This is good for Richard. This is good. He was saying, Dick Gregory's not going to get this guy thin. Let me at him. And Richard can do it.
Yeah, he can.
Look at Richard. Look how good he looks.
Now, wait a minute.
What?
I'm really upset that Dick Gregory dumped this guy.
Well, he couldn't get the guy out of the house,
But
Richard.
that's not important.
I think Dick Gregory was
guy,
I think we called Walter the other day.
No, you did not. You talked to him?
Yeah, he picks up the phone.
Now listen to me.
Richard's smelling.
No. You know, we talked to Rosemary.
Richard loves getting a hold of these high-profile fat people.
Here. Oh, stop.
You do love getting a hold of them.
She's lost 420 pounds.
Yeah?
And yesterday I went to St. Luke's Hospital to meet a guy named Michael, who was almost 800 pounds when I met him. And he's in the hospital now. And seriously, now you all make fun of this.
That's how Divine died.
Wait a minute. You all made fun of this.
What?
But in just a couple of shows that I did with you all, I've received so many letters, and we've helped so many people. We have saved Michael's life, who's at St. Luke's right now, who will undergo surgery on the 22nd, and the man will live now. And I think that's wonderful.
Yes, it is.
And Walter Hudson
you are
maybe
so
wasn't,
wonderful.
Walter Hudson maybe wasn't ready to go out of his house, but he
Come here.
shouldn't
I'm
have
going to
been
kiss
dumped.
you.
Stop it, Howard.
Well, look, we'll call Walter for you this morning.
800 pounds? Man must have cheese in the folds of his neck.
Oh, stop it.
Must be incredible. How do you get near these guys?
He was almost 800 pounds.
He was almost.
Now he is 800 pounds with Richard's help. No, I'm only kidding.
Now, Richard, come on. Richard, just sit down. Would you stop it? We're going to get you in touch with Walter Hudson.
Yes, now calm down,
we want
Richard.
You,
I can see nothing has changed.
No, sit down, Richard. God, do you have a huge penis? Look at the size of it. Don't wear shorts like that. What are you doing? He's wearing little short
He
shorts.
must have a special exercise, Howard.
What is there a Nautilus machine for that? Look at this. Don't you see that it's sticking out? When you go to did you go to old age home? Do you wear shorts like that?
I'm on a plane in Phoenix, Arizona. We get caught in a rainstorm. The plane is going side to side. The things have fallen. The plastic. Did you ever on a plane where the plastic thing actually falls?
That's why you're not married. You're so big.
Wait. Stop it.
Stop
it. Stop
Women
it
are afraid
now.
of you.
Look at me.
What?
And I was so afraid, and this little Jewish boy took off his yarmulke, and he said, "This was my bar mitzvah yarmulke," and we made the landing safely. What's
the
that
magic
story for the
yarmulke.
commercial?
Magic yarmulke. The little Jewish boy's magic yarmulke saved the plane.
I thought that was very sensitive, but of course we know that somewhere along the line, God forgot to give a few people on Earth a little sensitivity.
And what is with that yarmulke?
I don't know. Maybe it is magic.
No, but what is that? A yarmulke? What is that?
Where did it come from?
Yarmulke is.
What does that mean?
What does the term yarmulke mean? Let's call the park East.
I think everybody should just look the same, and not everyone should walk around with religious symbols on their head.
Yeah, I don't know what the Pope hat is all about.
Yeah, what's the difference between a Pope hat and a yarmulke?
And a yarmulke.
What's it? Well, one's a little flatter like a tostado, and one is more like a beanie.
Exactly. Well, anyway, let's take a break and talk to you about the many exciting things that you are doing, Richard Simmons.
And we'll
it's
come
a
back
thrill.
and find out why you're upset and everything.
And everything, right after these
Did you
words.
really call Walter?
Yes, we did.
No, swear.
I swear to God.
You want us to call
I swear
him
to God.
today?
We could call him right now.
How is he?
He was okay.
I want to explain to you everything about it, but I want to wait till we get back. Right after these words. Oh, please, huh? Stop it already. Stop it. Just sit down. Sit down! This guy's annoying today. Come on, that singing is annoying.
I think everybody who has stress in their life should buy some Broadway
I just
show
figured
albums and every morning put on Gypsy or Sweet
God.
Charity.
The worst music ever. My mother used to force me to listen to it. Why is it that...
Phantom of the Opera. Have you heard that?
Oh.
Have you heard it?
Don't tell me you like... Don't tell me you like show tunes.
You know who Richard is?
We have nothing in common. I realize that. I thought we were going to be
Now,
friends.
let's get
show
Wait a
tunes.
minute. Richard is the original Annie. You know, just hearing
When
him
I'm stuck
sing
with
like
a
that.
day that's great.
You don't hang out with Alan Carr, do you?
I don't know Alan Carr.
Good. He's the one responsible for bringing all those nauseating
Yes.
shows to Broadway.
Stop it. Don't you
Oh.
ever in my presence. You know how I feel about you talking about the overweight or physically challenged. But you have hit another pimple on my face.
What?
People on your... Yes.
You never make fun of Broadway. That is
I
as
hate
sacred
Broadway.
as the yarmulke that is...
Oh, what do you like, cats?
No, I didn't...
Oh, do run me.
No, I didn't particularly care for cats.
Oh, God. A bunch of smelly cat uniforms. People...
Shedding all over the
Yeah,
audience.
that's just what I need.
But Broadway,
Oh, Broadway.
Broadway has gotten people through wars.
Have you seen La Cage aux Folles? Oh, my God. Talk about a horror scene.
Oh, yes.
Howard.
That is a horrible play. That is a horrible play. It's horrible. Did you see the movie?
Am what I am. It was so horrible that you know all the words to all these songs because you are a closet Broadway listener, Howard Stern.
I am not.
Most probably in your limo, you have Sound of Music. Most probably Camelot.
Oh, get out of
and
here.
most probably the roar of the grease paint, the smell of the crowd with Anthony Newley
What do you
and
do?
Cyril
I
Richard.
picture you at home, like you have like a really nice stereo system, and you like dance around naked, listening to like the roar of the grease paint with Anthony Newley.
You should never dance around naked because.
Oh, come on, Richard, please.
Richard,
please.
don't do that while you're talking.
That's disgusting. You know, there's a lot of young people listening to our show. You are a bad influence.
Howard, tell them that you did it. Tell them
Did what?
You just belched on the air.
I swear I didn't. That was Richard Simmons. All right? I swear to God that was Richard Simmons.
He's leaving.
No, you're
now,
not.
Richard, stop it.
Richard, get back here. You're not going anywhere. You are here till 8 o'clock.
All right, it was Howard.
It was Howard.
It was you.
Sure. It was
Get your
me.
mother on the phone. I've had it. Let's talk about Walter for a second.
First, can I just do a commercial first, and then we'll talk about Walter?
Wait a moment. We just took a break. I want to talk about Walter
No, I
now.
have to do a commercial.
I want to
Finish
talk
the
about
break.
it now.
No. I
How
have his
is he
phone number.
doing?
We're going to call him.
How is he doing? How is he doing?
Oh, he's just laying around.
Could you say how is he doing one more time?
How is he doing? Where
is he?
Let me say something. Walter Hudson, of course, is the heavy-set black fellow who is in bed on his back with the braids.
Yes.
That's beautiful, those braids, by the way.
Howard,
that does
stop
really
it.
help his appearance.
It proves his
Howard.
Yes. That's what you do. When you weigh 800 pounds, you grow braids.
Makes him look thinner.
That's it. That's it.
Thins out that face.
That's it.
Makes him look thinner. Oh, Richard, knock it off with the concern. Knock it off already.
No, let's call him.
Are you a businessman? Are you a businessman?
Please.
Are you a businessman?
Tell me if I'm right or wrong.
Yes or no? Are you a
I
businessman?
am trying to find out about the concern of another human being, and you, Howard
I'm going to
Stern,
tell you in a minute.
want to sell
Are
again.
you
You're
a
teasing
businessman?
me.
Are you a businessman?
Tease people.
Are you a businessman?
You know what happens when people you tease people? It's wrong. You should not tease
Are you
people.
a tease, Richard?
No, I'm not a tease. I just don't like to be teased.
Are you a businessman?
I'm just.
Stop spraying Michael Jackson oil in your head. Are you a businessman? Would you consider yourself a businessman?
Yeah, Howard, I am.
Okay, fine. Now,
I like that new voice.
Now, you are a businessman.
Look, if you're deaf, I can't help you right now, but I am a businessman.
It's his masculine voice. That's your real voice. And you ought to start using that real voice in public. Stop with that other voice.
He
Yeah,
sounds
that
like
one.
me in deep voice when he does
I know
that.
you
Well, it
make fun of my
shows you
voice.
that he can talk in a regular manly voice.
No, wait. That's not fair.
Well, that's true.
Wait a minute.
You got to
Do
admit.
you think that you have a regular manly voice?
Yes, I do.
Oh, please.
Oh, you're. Oh, wait a
Howard.
second. How dare you?
Howard,
How
reality,
dare you?
slap yourself, click
How-
your heels. Howard, this is
How
not
dare you? It's about time you sound like a man. Here, now talk.
There we go.
There you go.
Now, anyway.
Still sounds like a... Hey, put on your headphones.
What? My headphones?
His voice doesn't get deeper. Yeah, wait a second. What's it, Robin? Here. Now he sounds good.
All right.
Anyway.
I don't get it. Doesn't work on him.
Works for everybody else.
Oh, look, there's a delivery.
You all drink a lot of coffee, don't you?
Not me.
Jesus.
Joke face.
All this coffee.
You're a businessman, are you not? How do you keep track of all your dogs? You got 6 of them, right?
Yeah, when they have a litter.
Wait a second. Let's talk about Richard Simmons' empire for a second. Deal a meal. You got the new. You got the new salad. You
I'm doing.
You got the new salad spray.
Isn't that a great idea?
He's going to
I'm real excited
spray.
about it. Well, it's, salads are really low-cal. It's the dressing. All those globs.
Yeah, everything
all
you
those
put on
calories.
it.
Do you know the average person puts 425 calories of salad
So you
dressing?
spray the dressing on.
So I had the dressing, and we designed a special nozzle. One spray of this Deal Meal salad spray is just 1 calorie. And
Very
so
good.
it spreads the dressing so that you get less, but the taste is still there.
It's like a mister. A mist.
Of
Fine
salad
mist
dressing.
of salad dressing.
Yes.
Right?
Can you see
Mister.
those people who want that 400 calories? They'll be dead by the time they get that salad dressing.
You'll be spritzing it for like 3 years.
Really?
That'd be funny if you get some like hair tonic on your accidentally. But
Grab the
actually,
wrong thing, yeah.
actually though, if that's not a bad idea at home, you could do that.
How
You
come
could-
I can't? Why do you have me on the show? You
I
don't
love
like
you.
Wait, you don't like my face? You don't like my chest? You don't like
I think you're fabulous. Now let me address the Michael Hudson story.
Yeah.
It's Walter Hudson.
Excuse me, Walter Hudson.
Walter
No,
Hudson.
we're talking about Michael Hudson.
No, we're addressing somebody else. Walter Hudson is the fat guy who Dick Gregory was helping. Now, Richard is upset because Dick Gregory left.
Tell me the whole story. Here's what we heard in California.
Right.
He was supposed to walk out his house, and when he didn't, Dick Gregory said, "I'm not helping you anymore.
That's right.
You have a psychological problem."
That is correct.
But why not stay there and help him?
Because he said to him, if you want to get help, you have to help yourself. Dick Gregory was right. Walter should have gotten up out of the house and left.
You are not Walter. You cannot tell people what to do, Howard.
I could.
It has to.
You want to lose weight or you want to fleagle around? That's what I would have said to Walter. And I said it to him on the phone. I said, Walter, get out of the house. I said, get out of the house. I said, oh, you afraid to get out of the house or what?
Can we call him and say hello?
You want to say hello to him?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think that Richard should talk to Walter. Maybe he can help him.
Howard, I'm letting you know right up front. If this is a joke,
It's
no, look
not
at me.
a joke. Everybody's in the room. All the hands are on the table.
Okay. If this in any way is a joke, anyway, I will. Now, I mean this.
Try getting me in the room. What?
What'd you say? What did you say?
I said what?
You said something before what? It was a small sentence that you mumbled into
I
the
said,
mic.
try getting me in the room. Do you know what I just said?
No, I have no
All right.
idea.
Oh, okay.
But I will take you outside, and I will take my sweater off, and we will have a fist fight in the lobby.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
Do we get to roll around on the floor in the mud?
Summer me, winter me. Let's call him.
You want to call Walter Hudson right now?
I want to say hello.
All right. We're going to call Walter Hudson right now. Gary's dialing the number.
Where did he go?
Who? What? Look how paranoid he is. Why do you think this is a joke?
Where did the guy in that chair go?
What guy?
The guy who runs the tapes. Where did he go?
You are so paranoid. He went to the bathroom probably. Would you go look?
He's human.
Well, then let's call Walter now.
Okay, let's call him.
Okay.
Gary, you dialing? I hope he's dialing.
Wait a minute.
What?
This is a set.
It is not.
Robin.
What, Richard?
You're the one that I look to.
Look at the number here. 1-800-BIG-FATS. It's got to be him.
No. Now, wait a minute,
Just
Richard.
calm down.
Richard, you can take a joke now. Come on.
Come on.
I can't joke about overweight people. You know, you said it yourself. There's nothing funny about being overweight, and that's why I help people who are overweight. But you're not helping me help people.
All right, I'm calling.
We always help you help people. How dare you?
If this is a setup, Robin.
It's not.
What? I don't know what he's doing over there.
I'm dialing the numbers, what I'm doing.
Howard. Howard.
Hello? Hello?
Hello? Is this Walter Hudson?
Excuse me?
Walter Hudson, please. It's the Howard Stern Show calling. Hello? We're on the air.
Oh, okay. We'll go get Walter.
That was weird. I told you I'm
must
calling.
be up and around.
Hello? Hello?
Oh, we're hearing it back. Walter, turn the radio down.
I knew he listened. He listens, I'm telling you. We call him all the time. Oh, look at Richard.
What's wrong, Richard?
Why is he looking at me like that?
Howard.
What?
If this is a setup,
It's not.
you are in trouble.
It is not. It is not. Does this sound like a setup?
I don't know yet.
Would we be playing our own radio?
Hello?
Hello, is this Walter? This is Howard Stern. We're on the air.
Walter, what is
Walter.
that noise?
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Howard. That's it.
Wait.
Howard!
Wait a second. What are you getting mad for?
I'm
not me. I'm telling you. Richard, I'm not.
The guy needs help, obviously.
Walter, are you walking out on a man who needs help?
He obviously needs help.
Walter? Hello?
Howard?
Yeah, how are you?
I just lost about 50 pounds.
Really? Hey, good.
Howard.
What? Richard Simmons is here.
Howard.
Howard?
Howard.
Howard?
What?
our new diet program.
What's the new diet
It's
program?
called Dealer Vomit.
Dealer Vomit?
Dealer Vomit.
All right, hold on.
That's it?
Let's
Oh,
really
that's
call
it.
him. Let's
All right,
really
we're
call
going to
him.
really call Walter Hudson for you now.
I promise this is really him. That was not Walter Hudson. That was Fred in the other room. I admit
Now,
it.
calm
All
down,
right?
Richard.
Oh,
you get so upset.
You are such a baby.
That's not funny. Deal Meal is helping a whole bunch of people out there.
That's true. Everybody knows that.
Well, maybe you can help Walter, because Dick Gregory left him.
Howard?
Swear to God.
Hello?
Hi, is Walter there? This is Howard Stern. We're on the air.
He's being interviewed right now.
You're kidding.
No.
I have Richard Simmons here with me. I believe he wants to help him. Richard, say hello.
Hello?
Hi.
Who's this?
This is Lottie, Walter's niece.
Hi, Lottie. How are you?
Fine, how are you?
How is Walter doing?
He's doing great.
Is he?
Uh-huh.
Is he still losing weight?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Now, let me ask you, is Mr. Gregory still seeing him?
No.
You know, Richard's upset because Dick Gregory abandoned Walter.
Uh-huh.
You know, I talked to Walter before he started with Dick.
Uh-huh.
And told him if there was anything that I could do or call him and motivate him or if there's any books that he needed to read or anything. And then, you know, Dick was helping him and I just wanted to say hello.
Well, he's being interviewed right now.
Who's interviewing him?
Well, I don't know. It's another radio station.
Another radio. You know, they all get in on my action.
Well, listen, we'll hold.
Yeah, we'll hold.
Okay.
All right. How long should I hold
we're
for?
on the phone.
Well, will you tell Walter that it's me?
Uh-huh.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And tell him it's me, too.
Okay.
And me.
And Robin
And
also.
Robin, we're all here.
Fred and Jackie,
Because
too.
we are family.
Oh, God.
All my brothers, sisters, and me.
Great. Richard, sing black songs to Lottie. That's great.
I was singing a family song, a Pointer Sister song. matter
Oh,
of fact.
God.
I think that was Sister Sledge.
Yeah.
Well, they're all related. You know what I'm saying?
We all look alike, you know. Richard,
No,
really?
I meant Sister Sledge and the Pointer Sisters are related.
Yeah, okay.
I'm telling you that the black is the better athlete. And he practices to be the better athlete, and he's bred to be the better athlete because this goes back all the way to the Civil War, when during the slave trade.
Hello? 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 Well, Lottie must have put us on hold.
Lottie!
I bet you Walter ate the phone.
Oh, stop it.
He gets nuts in there. I'm telling you, he's laid in bed all day.
I can't believe it.
Where is Walter?
He's doing another interview.
Well, I mean, he's on. We have him here, so.
All right, why don't we take a break? And when we come back, Walter will be ready for us. What radio station is he talking to? How dare they?
I don't like that.
I don't either. Walter's our personal friend. Where's Lottie? Where is everybody? I'm in shock. Well, Richard, I hope that, listen, if you...
Hello?
Hello?
Lottie? Walter?
Yes.
Walter, it's Howard Stern. You're on the air. Your friend, Howard.
Who's Richard Simmons?
Richard Simmons is right here. Go ahead, Richard.
Hi, how are you?
All right, how are you?
I'm doing fine. I was really a little upset about the Dick Gregory thing. How are you feeling?
Oh, I feel good.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Richard's upset because Dick Gregory dumped you. And I said that, hey, that was Dick's thing. You know what I'm saying? We talked about that, right, Walter?
Yeah.
You know, hey, Dick said, hey, you got to come out of the house for help, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Walter, is there anything that you need? Is there anything that I can help you with?
No, I'm doing all right.
You're doing fine. You eat now? Are you eating?
No.
Are you still on the liquids?
Yes, I am.
Now, have you had a complete... When's the last time with Dick Gregory? Did you have a complete physical?
Oh, yes. Matter of fact, the doctor was here Saturday.
And so you're doing good.
Yes, I am.
How much weight have you lost, Walter?
As of right now, I don't know.
Oh.
I'll know by April, probably.
I see.
I know that you had talked once to Rosemarie Carnamola, the lady that I'm working with who's lost almost 500 pounds now, and we all are rooting for you, and we all pray for you, and we hope that you can be successful and get the weight off and be as happy as you want to be.
Hey, if you ask me, Walter, you're lucky you don't have to leave the house, if you ask me. I swear to God, I leave the house every day, I get into more trouble, and there's more vermin out on that street. I tell you, it's safer in the house. And you don't have to see Belcher's new movie.
Oh,
Walter.
Actually, I like Belcher's new movie.
I'll call you from time to time to say hello.
Okay.
And if there's anything you need, you let us know.
Will
will do.
Oh, Richard, don't be annoying Walter every minute. How do you know he wants to hear from you every minute?
I
Now,
didn't
let's be
say I
honest.
was going to call him every minute, but I think once in a while doing a little positive phone call from people like you.
How do you know
me-
he wants to hear from you do-gooders, right, Walter? You want to hear from Richard?
Yes.
Oh, you do?
Oh. Well, isn't that nice? Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Listen, you take care of yourself, Walter, and God bless you.
God bless you, too.
Bye-bye.
Who were you talking to before?
Who are you talking to? What radio station, Walter?
Oh, God, come on.
No, come on, Walter.
Come on, huh?
Please.
What radio station? A radio station in Milwaukee.
Oh, Milwaukee. Oh, that's okay. We want exclusive in New York. Because when you talk to Stern, you're talking to the #1 show.
Oh, yeah?
I'm #1 with men, 18 to 34, men 25 to 54, men 35 to 35. That's right.
35 to 35.
That's right. And that's special category.
All right.
And women as well, Walter.
Okay.
All right, listen. Thank
Well, you take care.
God bless you.
God bless you, too.
Yes, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, motivate. You can't motivate him.
Yes, you can. I think he was motivated by this little show.
I hope so.
I really mean that. It's really nice when you care about other people. That's what life is all about.
Would be good if you could snag him. If you get him as one of your clients, I'm talking
And
about.
whittle him down.
I could see dealer meal sales going right through the roof.
I don't want. You know what?
Come on, everyone. Come on, you're a businessman as well.
I'm just hoping and pray that he does well.
Yeah.
You know, I just, no matter who writes me, whether they're 5 pounds overweight or 400 pounds overweight, our office tries
you
to
look
help people.
fabulous. Did I tell you look fabulous?
Now, what did you use to lose weight?
What did you lose weight with?
Look.
What did you lose weight with?
It's right here.
Is that a dealer meal?
You know.
Is that fit for life?
Let me see that. He doesn't believe in that.
Look, this is the thing.
Oh, there's the cards.
No, but for instance, let me tell you.
Let me see those cards.
Wait,
Let me
just
see
show
Let me see
you.
how much he has left for today.
Let's see.
Well, no.
Look, he ate all his cards for the day already, and it's only 8 o'clock.
But yesterday, let me show you what I had yesterday.
Let me see.
A brown card. I had a half a bagel. And I had
Half a bagel?
And I had a little margarine on it. And
Margarine?
I had an orange. And that's what I had for breakfast.
Well, that's fabulous.
Stop it.
Okay.
And for lunch, I had a sandwich with turkey. Here's the turkey, the 4 meat cards. And I had a little bit of mustard, which is free. And I had a salad. And I had some non-fat yogurt. And then for dinner, I had a fruit salad. And it really does work because you're taking responsibility for what you're eating. But I don't want to...
Well, look, he lost a lot of weight.
Yes, he looks great.
Since the accident, 38 pounds.
Richard's accident, getting back to the accident, Richard was in helping some handicapped people.
We don't say handicap.
All right, whatever. Come on,
say-
please, don't give me that.
we say
No, I'm not. I call it
physically
handicap.
challenged.
That's handicap.
You know, that's a 60s
Physically
word.
challenged is just as same as handicapped. Let's be honest. Let's
Howard-
stop with the catchphrases.
Howard, this is your show. If
No,
you
Richard.
want to be in the 60s, that's okay.
Okay,
But
so I'll
the
be in the
80s
60s.
But the 80s word is, the term is physically challenged.
You made that up.
I
Now
did.
listen.
By the time you get that out, they're walking.
Yeah.
That's funny, Robin. It's very funny.
I thought that was funny.
She has one cable show, a special, and now she's become
All right, let me
Oprah.
ask you something. So all of
The
a sudden,
Oprah of New York.
God forbid, she ever becomes Oprah.
If I become Oprah, I'm coming to dealer meal.
Robin Winfrey here.
How many calories was your accident?
How many calories?
And which side of the, what kind of a card is that?
Hey, so anyway, listen to me. Listen to me. Richard.
I'm leaving.
No, you're not. Sit down.
Richard, you laughed at that.
You were in a
Sit down.
shopping mall.
Yeah.
And a chandelier fell on your head?
No.
on his shoulder.
On
It
his
fell
shoulder?
and removed my shoulder. This is a plastic.
And you didn't sue
shoulder.
the shopping mall?
Pardon me?
You didn't sue the shopping mall?
I have a foundation called the Reach Foundation where we build exercise studios for the physically challenged, the disabled, the handicapped.
How
whatever
ironic,
word
now
you
he's
would like.
physically challenged.
Yes.
And so they gave me a very large donation, which enabled me to open up 13 new studios.
There you go.
How many millions? You had to collect millions on that. Imagine, man, that should only happen to me. I never get that kind of luck.
They don't
You
even
would
have
never-
chandeliers in our
You
mall.
would never want to go through.
Where do you go to a mall with a chandelier? If I could find it, I would stand there all day. I'm telling you.
You should pray to God that never things like that.
I
don't
bet you one
happen
of those
to you.
handicapped people put the chandelier in. Just so I could...
Oh,
No, I'm just saying. They were jealous.
I'm leaving.
No,
That's
Richard,
it.
stay here. You are not going anywhere. Listen to me. What happened was... What is he doing?
I don't know.
What happened was... You can't hear? Wait a minute. Jack, he'll fix it. He's a technical kind of guy. What happened is, if I was ever so lucky as to be in a mall and have a chandelier a chandelier fall on me would be so fabulous.
No, it was really...
How many millions of dollars do you collect off something like that?
It was a pretty I almost lost my whole arm.
Yeah.
So it was pretty devastating.
Yeah, but you didn't lose your arm.
Oh, okay. All right, as the pain puts me to sleep every night, I'll think about that.
Do you have a lot of
Howard.
pain?
Well, of course.
But I mean, for a couple of $1 million, I'd put up with the pain.
Oh, you would?
A little pain
well,
and
great. Let me see if there's a trophy
security.
or a blue ribbon here.
You are so lucky. I swear, you have a charmed life. You have a charmed life.
First you got fat.
First of all...
First you got
and
fat.
you worked that into a career.
Yeah, 1 million people lose weight every year. Nobody makes a dime off it. He works it into a big career. He buys his mother condos, and all of a sudden he becomes a spokesperson for that old age place.
Isn't it every son's dream or every daughter's dream to take very good care of their mother?
You know, I hate to bring it up, but...
No. It's not everyone's dream. I let my mother take care of herself. What'd she ever do for me?
Look what Leona gives you in the room. That's
Leona
for you.
Helmsley?
Look at the crest. It's
Richard, let's take a break. Let's take a break, please. Please, let me take a break here. And then we'll take a break. Right after these words. Okay. You gotta leave? Where are you going? What are you doing today?
Florida. Oh, are we on?
Florida? Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to Florida for the Senior Olympics. It's going to be a wonderful time.
2, 4, 6, 8.
I want to thank the Park East Synagogue.
Yeah.
They were really wonderful, and I hope we raised a lot of money for a hospital in Israel. And I hope Walter Hudson loses the weight and is happy, and I hope you all are happy, and it's just a positive, fabulous day.
Is that Senior Olympics going to be televised?
No, it's in Century Village in Florida.
What about the yarmulke toss? Is that going to...
That's it.
No, hold it.
That's it. I thought I could leave here just being nice.
No, wait a
but
second.
I could see
Hold
a
it.
yarmulke toss.
The yarmulke toss.
A yarmulke. It'd be really hard to hurt your back if you ever did a yarmulke. What a...
Is there a hop, skip, and die contest over there?
That's it.
What?
That's it.
What are you talking about?
I am packing up.
What are you talking about?
No, that's it.
No, you got it.
Leave you here the towel.
Richard.
You can have the rose. And here is a Leona
Hop,
Helmsley
skip,
ice
and die.
bucket. I am going. Goodbye.
Get off me, you horny bastard.
Permanently attached to your face.
I just had my knee up against his crotch. He's humping my knee. He's humping my knee. Hey, why don't you put
beautiful.
Hey, and don't let those old women see you in those shorts. And don't moon me either. I don't want to see that.
Richard, darling. Get off me. He's biting me.
I know, he breaks you.
Stop it.
He's rough.
You're too
There's a
much.
snake loose in his pants.
Are you leaving town now? Have a good trip.
Don't hop, skip, and die. Oh, he
Have you
hurts
ever seen the death drop? That's like tantamount to the broad jump.
He hurt my neck when he was grabbing me.
No, that felt good.
Haven't been kissed like that in a while. Love when a man kisses me like that.
Well, now we're going to smell like this all day.
I know, we smell like Michael Jackson. What I want to do is...
You promised.
To do the Kay Gardella thing
Yes.
here. Let me see here. I got a couple of... I'm a little behind on commercials. And let me take a quick phone call, and then we'll get to it.
All right, because we did promise, and I want to get to that.
You're on the air.
Howard.
Yeah.
Happening, man.
Hey.
Hold on 1 second. Hey, John. I got Howard.
Oh, boy.
Howard, what's going on, man? Your special was great.
Thanks.
That cake lady's a douche, too.
Hey, did you dial 1-800-2-STERN?
Yeah, I just called it, matter of fact.
Good. I'm telling you, man. Wait till you see the videotape. Wait till you see Gary's teeth on there.
Hey, Mike Stewart.
What?
Look at these. I'm telling these guys.
I'm not going to put up for people who don't pay attention. Hello?
Hey, Howard, what's happening?
Hey, I'll have the same conversation with this guy.
I hope it lasts a little longer.
Yeah. Hey, Mike. Wait till you hear this Kay Gardella tape I'm going to play next.
I can't wait.
Whoa, Howard, are you taking up,
Anorexia? Bulimia. Hey, all I know is there's about 1 million people who didn't get to see the TV special. There's more than that. There's about 1.4 million who didn't get to see the TV special.
You're kidding.
And if you want the tape, it's there. It should be, in fact, it should be delivered around the 16th of March or something like that. A couple of weeks, 2 weeks or so, yeah.
That's good.
Can't wait to see Gary's teeth.
Never mind that. Wait till you see the backstage stuff. I recorded special messages and stuff in the tape.
Great.
I wanted to make it special. And it moves pretty good. It's pretty interesting. We got some good reviews on it, too. Maybe I should do that now.
Yeah, why don't you read them?
Okay.
Thank you. What is it, Gary?
No, I was just coming in to hear you talk about the videotape.
Sometimes he likes to listen live.
Yeah, it's more fun than actually listening off the radio. This review is from, which one you want to hear, the newspaper review or the Friday morning quarterback review?
What's that? Oh, that's one of those trade papers.
Yeah, I was more concerned about the Friday morning quarterback than I was the newspaper. People in the industry read that.
Yes. What did they say?
Well, here, I'll just read you a few sentences. Highlights of one of the most interesting, entertaining, and downright innovative television programs we've ever seen included the now famous Lesbian Dial-A-Date featuring two extremely attractive, horny, and energetic lesbians who have come to be a recurring call-in live bit for Stern. His royal hipness also brought to the screen a film version of his classic Gay Untouchables bit starring Elliot P. Ness, his hysterical Guess Who's the Jew bit with cast member Fred Norris as your host, Kurt Waldheim, perverted bandstand where Howard, then you sort of go through everything. The regular guests, Becky the mental patient, Talks about Penn and Teller, Leslie West, Geraldo Rivera, Richard Belzer, Judy Tenuta, the legend Steve Rossi. Let's see. Case in point, the man who lit his genitals on fire and tried to fry an egg using a flame, talking about, great moments.
Right.
And just generally good. And the only reason I'm reading this is to lead up to the Kay Gardella thing. I'm not doing it to be self-serving.
Mm-hmm.
Because Kay Gardella says that Kay Gardella reviews my show based on the New York Post guy's review.
Yes, she didn't even get a group of reviews before she made a comment.
Now, here's a guy from the Courier Post, okay? It's a Philly paper. It was a rather entertaining pay-per-view television special on Saturday night. Unfortunately, it was mostly obscured by the bad taste, cruelty, and borderline pornography that made up the bulk of Howard Stern's negligee and underpants party. The guy says, the headline reads, Howard Stern's TV party, entertaining but crude.
Uh-huh.
I'm taking this as a positive review.
I was going to say, wait a minute, that doesn't sound positive.
It starts off worse, and then the guy talks about how much he liked it, but he's like, gee, why did they have to have nudity? Because then it could have been on regular television, but I didn't want to do a show for regular television.
So that's why we all wanted to watch it, because it was crude.
Right. Well, that's what this guy basically says the same thing. Right from the top of the 2.5-hour live program, Stern's first headlining TV gig, the controversial radio host made it clear he was going to take full advantage of the freedom from censorship offered by pay-per-view. For starters, the show was introduced by a man with a rather severe stutter, a task made all the more difficult by Stern's scriptwriters Jackie the Joke Man Martling and Fred Norris, who purposely wrote words that would give the unfortunate gentleman the most problems. This was followed by a segment in which people outside the studio were challenged to perform stunts, mostly involving the taking off of clothes in order to gain admittance to the broadcast. Let's see. It talks about how the negligee and underpants party was, in a strange way, an exciting and entertaining endeavor. First of all, it was live TV at its rawest. The electrically charged anything can happen atmosphere was almost exhilarating. We didn't know just how close to the edge Stern would go, and it was fun to watch him inch toward it. Then there was Stern himself. The curly-maned radio star has an interesting and slightly dangerous presence that is quite appealing given the institutional blandness of most TV talk hosts. There was a lot of genuinely funny stuff. True, some of his pre-recorded Gay Untouchables was extremely tasteless, but it was also hilarious, as were Martling's brief and filthy comedy monologue, and a slew of ad-libs that Stern and company flung around the set like so many spitballs.
I like that.
Did he say anything about Siobhan?
No, but I mean, he just basically said, yeah, it was crude, which we knew it would be.
Siobhan leaves people speechless.
Yeah. the guy blanked out during the Siobhan segment. But anyway, in a minute, what we're going to play for you is a startling conversation we had with Kay Gardella. I'm going to play it right after these words. We had this on Friday around 10 o'clock. It is so frightening and so startling that newspapers from all around the country have been calling me, asking me for copies of it. I refused. I don't do that kind of thing. But I'm going to play it here so that they can write it down.
Yeah.
And then I will read again Kay Gardella's comments today in the newspaper, which are frightening. They are just frightening. I think we should devote the rest of the show to this, Robin.
Yes.
Wait
It was
till you hear
almost bad to have Richard in today.
Yeah.
Because he's such a positive, uplifting person. I'd almost forgotten how angry I was at Kay Gardella.
Yeah, let me get my anger together.
Yes, get it back together again.
And we'll do that next. And we didn't even finish the news. We gotta get back to that.
But if we listen to that interview again, I'm sure that will fuel the flame.
You got that racked up for me, Gary?
Yes, boss.
Okay. We'll be back right after these words.
All right.
I'd just like to mention, Scott just told me something really frightening.
What?
It's too weird, man. He says that the night that we did the pay-per-view special, that BQ cable, your cable system, put it on everyone's system for free. Like, in other words, anyone who didn't order it got it anyway.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Because I came home and I had both the other pay-per-view channels on. They were running almost all night. I mean, almost into, all of Sunday.
Yeah.
And I said, well, why am I getting the other pay-per-view channels free? Because I signed up for this one?
I think I might have to sue some people.
Really? I paid for that.
It's like the whole pay-per-view industry freaked out. They were finally getting some business. They couldn't handle it or something.
So since they had people at home tuning into pay-per-view, they decided to give away everything?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they decided. I think somebody hit a switch and didn't know what they were doing.
Because I did. I got, The Big Easy was the movie they were selling, and Back to the Beach, and, I can't remember what, and, Predator. I got all those movies free.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's real weird, man. I'm hearing all kinds of strange reports. I gave them for free. I just flicked on a switch.
Yeah, and everybody got it because I did. I got all the pay-per-view channels that night.
And I know some guy who lifted it off satellite.
Really? I thought it wasn't supposed to be on satellite.
No, somebody lifted it off. They have like these. They buy illegal converter boxes. They get everything for free.
You can't fool these people. You can't keep everything from them.
Yeah. Well, for those of you who didn't see it, it's a really good tape.
Yeah, but
and the poster's real fun too. Yeah.
The people who paid for that on BQ Cable got snockered.
Well, they didn't get snockered. It's just that I got snockered.
No, I'm just saying they paid for it and then everybody got it free.
Yeah, well, somebody hit a button. I'm the one who got snockered.
Well, they did too because they paid for it.
No. I paid for the whole production of the damn thing.
Well, everybody paid.
Yeah. What is it, Gary?
I just wanted to take this time out to tell you that we will definitely be doing Tiny Tim Dial-A-Date.
Oh, good.
All right.
It's all confirmed.
That's another thing. If people didn't hear Tiny Tim on Friday,
we got to replay that.
Yeah, you know what I'll do? I'll cut that up so tomorrow I can replay some of that.
Yeah, because that was late in the show, too.
Yeah, and Tiny...
Pretty poignant stuff.
Tiny's pretty heavy dude, man. I didn't realize. He's going to be a great dial-a-date.
We just sat back and let Tiny wail.
Yeah.
We were in shock.
I just kept waving my hand so everyone would be quiet and let Tiny talk, because Tiny was really in a weird mood.
Do you know when I spoke to his manager yesterday to confirm the whole thing, he asked me, he wanted to know if Tiny wanted to know if there was any way that Patty Mullen could be one of the callers.
Are you kidding?
And it was a quite serious question.
He fell in love with Patty Mullen, Penthouse Pet of the Year.
I knew there was something going on there.
As crazy as Tiny was getting, and he was like really wailing, he goes, "And Mr. Stern, could you please make them as young as possible?" It was great.
I just want to say, the younger the better.
The younger the better, Mr. Stern. I'll get the clips of that and play that for everyone.
Yeah.
Tiny's not as wacky as he seems, man.
Well, he's got some things on the ball.
Yeah, he knows to get a young girl. But what I'll do is I'll play you the clips of our conversation with Tiny, and you'll see why we're having him on Dial-A-Date. He's pretty funny, actually. It's pretty good stuff. Okay, here we go. And I hope I do this justice, because I am in such shock. Kay Gardella wrote a column today explaining herself. So obviously she's gotten a lot of flack about this, but not nearly enough. I mean, this is just a total outrage. When you hear this phone conversation, I think you'll see what I'm talking about. Let's just play some of it and get into it.
I gotta talk to you. We gotta patch up our feud. Would you talk to me?
You're full of baloney.
No, come on.
This isn't you.
It is. It's me and it's Robin.
Who?
Howard and Robin.
Stern.
We're on the radio.
I don't believe you.
I swear.
This is a friend.
We're over at the Palladium.
It's a friend.
No, Kay, we're taping the show in
Kay.
the afternoons and replaying them in the morning.
Kay, you're so mean to me. Why? Why are you so mean to me? Explain it to me. I don't understand what I've done to you.
Sounds like you're singing a song. Mean to.
Let me state that Kay Gardella wrote in her column, and she claims it's not her column, she wrote it in Inner Tube, but excuse me, that to me is, hey, she wrote it on the same page.
It was under her byline.
Right. She wrote that I don't even have the exact article anymore. I think I recap it in this conversation, don't I?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do read it, I think.
Okay. We'll just listen to the logic here.
Well, you are.
And what do you have against pay-per-view that you should think
I don't
that
understand.
it should be nailed in a coffin?
Yeah, I can understand you not liking me, all right? Because I think, you're of a different generation, and I can see where you wouldn't see the humor in a lot of this stuff. Did you see my show, by the way?
Now, Howard, I get all kinds of telephone calls that you're just a very nasty man to me.
I'm not. I'm only nasty because you're...
My phone keeps ringing all the time with my wonderful readers who have just been absolutely so loyal.
Yeah.
They think I should sue you.
Well, I don't think you should go that far. I haven't said anything.
First of all, that's another wacky comment. Should sue you for what? For my opinion? Because I think she's a bad writer?
She should sue her friends for calling her and telling her this stuff.
Why are her friends calling her? You sue your friends. Sue me.
Defamatory or libelous?
One reader said that you're trying to ruin me.
No.
And that I should...
Well, I am now. I really think that she has proven in this phone call that she is not qualified to write a television column. Let's continue.
If John Gambling, Liz Smith, and myself should get together and sue you.
Why?
Why? What did I say? All I said was that I didn't think your style...
I don't know what you say because I don't listen.
All right, now there it is. The first time she says she doesn't listen, okay? Does everyone hear that she just said she doesn't listen? Let's continue. Okay.
I didn't like your style of writing.
Oh, that's a shame.
No, because I feel you give too much of the story away. You do too much of a book report kind of thing. You should give more of your opinions.
I do.
The only time you give the opinions is when you get a hold of me, and you didn't even see my TV show and you gave an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the TV show?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you did?
Okay, now she says she saw the TV show. Okay? You're paying attention. So far, she says she doesn't listen to the radio show, but she saw the TV show.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
Do you swear you did?
Oh, I know. On how many? Your Bible, I swear on. You got a Bible?
See, she didn't see the TV show. All right, and then you're right. I never thought we'd owe Howard Stern a vote of thanks. But the foul-mouthed broadcaster did us a favor by driving a nail into the coffin of pay-per-view cable casting. I can understand why you don't like me, but why don't you like pay-per-view? What do you care if they charge money, if people want to spend money on...
I care very much.
Why?
I care for the public being ripped off. Are you kidding?
But why are they ripped off? If they want to spend money to see a movie...
They're ripped off.
Or WrestleMania.
Well, yeah, they don't have to get ripped off. They just don't have to subscribe.
You walk in, even now, when you walk into a movie, where now we're paying $7 for a movie, that's a ripoff.
Why?
That is a ripoff.
Just don't go to see it.
Well, no, but they have a right to see a movie without paying $7. We're seeing the same movies we saw for 35 cents years ago.
Do you realize how expensive it is to go to the... I mean, do you realize how expensive it is to make a movie, how much risk there is? You know I had to put up $500,000 in order to get that pay-per-view special on the air? I mean, you got to charge money for this stuff.
You put up $500,000?
$500,000.
You're out of your mind.
Well, that's what things cost, Kay. You're out of touch. I'm telling you.
Then why didn't you do a better show?
But you didn't see it. How do you know how good it was?
I read about it. I didn't need to see it.
Read it where?
Where did you read about it?
Oh, my goodness, there's been reviews all over.
Reviews where?
Did you read the one in the Post?
You mean you read the guy's...
read the Post?
Wait a second. You read the guy's Post review and then you based it on that? You can't do that. That's not fair. That's his viewpoint, not yours.
I wasn't giving a viewpoint. I just said you did us a favor.
Yep.
Okay. I'll continue the conversation in a minute, but I need a breather here for a second. Do you believe what's going on here? I hear this. I get more and more angry. She starts talking about $7 movies, the same one she saw for 35 cents.
Yeah, I mean...
What does that have to do with anything? Then she talks about pay-per-view as... All I said is, why shouldn't people have the option of getting their own programming?
People have a right to see a movie.
People have a... Where does it say that? What is that, inalienable?
She's out of her mind.
And she keeps calling my show a ripoff. She didn't see it. The guy in the Post called it a ripoff.
Yeah.
But so now she's saying a ripoff. But she didn't see it.
Wait a second, Kay. How can you say I did a bad show?
Wait a minute, read that next line.
Okay,
She
here.
didn't give a review.
Yeah,
That's not a review. I just said you did us a favor.
You said you did us a favor by driving a nail into the coffin of pay-per-view cable casting with his sleazy show. Maybe now people will think twice before paying for garbage they can get for free in any city dump.
He called it sleazy. She called it sleazy and called it garbage. And she didn't see it. And she called it a ripoff.
And this is not a review.
This is not a review because it appeared in the Inner Tube column. She wrote today. She wrote an explanation in the Daily News today. If you buy the Daily News, you'll see her explanation.
I'll tell you why it wasn't a review. She didn't give you the book report of what happened.
Right.
Before she made these comments.
Because she didn't see it. The woman calls it garbage, calls it sleazy, and didn't see it. But she says in her column today she can smell garbage.
She doesn't have to see it.
She doesn't. In other words, she can review something without. She smells the videotapes, and she smells the television, and then she can tell it's garbage.
The night of the pay-per-view special, she sniffed her TV.
Right.
There was nothing on it.
She got on her knees and smelled the television. Is what she's saying. She smelled garbage.
Yeah, I do. I feel that way. Yeah.
But Kay,
what does that mean?
That doesn't mean anything.
Sure does.
Let me back up. We lost context here. I don't want anybody to miss this because I know all the newspapers are writing this stuff down. Let's get back.
Now people will think twice before paying for garbage they can get for free in any city dump.
Yeah, I do. I feel that way. Yeah.
But Kay,
what does that mean?
That doesn't mean anything.
Sure does.
It means if I don't want to pay pay-per-view, then I shouldn't pay for it, and then you're not getting ripped off. You only get ripped off if you pay for it. And
I'm listening.
Okay, and then
Wait a
you
minute,
say...
you're not getting ripped off if you pay for something you want.
Who am I talking to?
To Robin.
Robin?
Robin and Howard. And if you watched the show, you would have known who Robin is.
But I don't need to watch it. I get reports on you every day.
But Kay, you
this phone just rings off with people calling me about you.
But she doesn't need to watch it. She gets reports all day.
Well, first of all, the pay-per-view special was only on once. So reports every day, I doubt it.
Hey, it's not fair what you're doing. Don't you realize you're printing something in the paper about something you didn't see?
No, that's not bad. Not when Howard Stern blasts people every day on the radio.
That's not bad. In other words, it's okay for her to write a report on something she didn't see because I blast people on the radio.
There's logic.
How does she figure her job is meaningless because I blast people on the radio?
She can forget what her job description is because you blast people on the radio.
Where's the logic in this?
She can take total license with her job because you blast people on the radio.
Oh, man. How do you figure where her thought process is on this?
That's not bad.
You mean you think that it's okay to review something without seeing it, and then... just based on what another reporter said? You lose all credibility.
Why are you getting so excited about this?
Because you lose credibility that way.
Why could you possibly care what I say when you're always knocking me?
Because you're in the newspaper. You have power over it. You shape people's perceptions of other performers. Let's say
and you do the same thing about readers.
Let's say a guy...
About writers, rather. And
yes,
it's going on every day, practically.
But
Wait a minute, she's obsessed. She thinks you talk about her every day.
Yeah, but the point is, if I talk about her, I base it on reading her column.
You never say Kay Gardella is just whatever without having known that Kay Gardella writes a column and what she said in it that day.
This is too weird. This whole woman's logic is too weird. And nobody at the Daily News is alarmed by this conversation?
At least we read your column when we're doing.
We base it on what we read. You should at least watch the TV show before you pass judgment on it.
I had to only see the title, and then no, I wouldn't like to. You're saying you don't have to pay for something. If you don't want to go to it, you don't have to pay for it. I just have to see that title and know what you do, and I wouldn't want to see it.
Yeah, but that's not fair to write something that you should...
So why doesn't she write that? If I see the title, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah,
she writes an article. She writes an article and acts like she saw it. She's acting like she saw it.
She should already alert her readers that she's prejudiced and can't possibly give an opinion. Because she has a preconceived notion.
Yeah. Because she didn't even see the show. She just heard a title and is basing everything on a title.
And the know what you do comment is based again on conjecture because she's heard things. She has never listened to the show.
I guess she won't read Tropic of Cancer because she doesn't want to read about depressing illnesses.
I guess, yeah.
Oh, it's got cancer in the title. It must be about cancer.
Right, I didn't see it. You should at least write, I didn't get to see it, but I'm not interested in it based on the title.
Mm-hmm.
That's honest.
That's
no.
honest.
That's you telling me what to do.
When I critique your writing, I actually look at your writing and then I critique it.
We actually read verbatim what's going on in your column.
Right. And I mean, but the point
Robin, I don't know you.
Well, you don't listen to the show and you review that, and then you don't watch the
I don't listen to the show. I'm not a masochist.
Kay, you call me a foul-mouthed broadcaster, and yet you've never heard any of the things I've said. I don't think I'm a foul-mouthed broadcaster.
Well, see, that's a difference of opinion.
Yeah, but you haven't heard me, so how could you say that?
Oh, well, I've heard
you. Let your opinion...
Well, there she says she's heard me. She just said, I said, how could you have an opinion that I'm a foul-mouthed broadcaster if you haven't heard me? And then she goes, well, I've heard you.
No. She must have said I heard about you.
No. Here's what she said.
Let's rewind the tape.
I'll play it again.
The things I've said, I don't think I'm a foul-mouthed broadcaster.
Well, see, that's a difference of opinion.
Yeah, but you haven't heard me, so how could you say that?
Oh, well, I've heard
you. Let your opinion be formed by other things you've read.
No. Robin, you don't know what you're talking
How
about.
can you
Robin.
comment on something you've never seen? Isn't that dishonest? Isn't that ripping off someone else?
No.
Isn't that plagiarism?
No.
Commenting on what the guy from the Post said?
No, I'm not.
And not giving him credit?
Not a word that the Post said.
Yeah, but you're also saying that...
Not a word that the Post said.
Yeah, but you're basing your opinion on what the guy from the Post said.
Well, I have great respect for him. I know him. He's a colleague, and...
She just contradicted herself again.
Yeah.
She said, I'm not plagiarizing. I'm not saying anything that...
Well, she was saying I didn't use a word.
She used ripped off. He wrote that. And she's saying that she didn't see the special. She's basing it on his article.
Yeah.
So why didn't she give him credit?
But she did say, she now said she did hear, she has heard you, but she doesn't listen.
Yeah. She doesn't listen, but she heard me. It's like my parents when I used to argue with them. They listened, but they didn't hear.
Sorry, I have respect for him.
All right, now here's the other thing I take umbrage with, Kay.
Why didn't anybody invite you to a screening if you were so anxious for people to see it?
It was a live event, Kay. How could you have a screening of a live event?
And who said I was anxious for anyone to see it? I wasn't anxious for her to see it. I just said
you
she's
didn't
gonna
ask for reviewers.
No, but if she's going to review it, at least look at it.
Well, it had to be seen someplace.
Well, it was seen. I have a video.
Seen the day of.
There's a video out now. You want me to send you a copy of it?
No.
It comes with the poster. You get to see the underpants and negligee party, plus all the backstage antics. Jessica Hahn with the lesbians, everything.
No, that wouldn't interest me.
I'm telling you, you don't know till you've seen it.
It wouldn't interest me.
It's better than that stuff on Channel 13.
Yeah.
Then you say,
nothing's better than stuff on Channel 13.
Okay, then you say, I hope he sent a copy of the show to the FCC. Now, why in my wildest dreams would I send a copy of this to the FCC?
Oh, I think it would be wonderful if you did.
But why would I do that?
Because they're friends of yours.
They're not friends of mine. They're people who are threatening our First Amendment, and I'm shocked that you're not against that.
No, I'm not against threatening you. No, I'm not.
Let's continue this after these words.
Yeah, because I need a breather.
Yeah, a breather. Let's get back to Kay Gardella as she puts her foot in her mouth. This has got to end her career. If it doesn't, I have no respect for anybody.
Well, I can see a running sequel now. She'll have to comment on her comments of today in today's paper. She'll have to explain those.
Yeah.
So she'll be explaining herself for the rest of her career.
Well, she runs a column today called One Last Comment on Radio's Bad Boy. In other words, she's going to wrap it all up and this thing will go away. One last comment.
Doesn't.
Yeah, I'll read the comments again because it's worth reading again.
Not at all.
Yeah, but don't you understand that if they threaten me, they're threatening you?
No.
You don't see that.
This is the FCC.
No, I don't see that.
You don't see that if they're unhappy. Maybe they'll be unhappy someday with a TV commercial on government-run television.
No, I think they're really in your corner, to be very honest, and they're friends of yours, and you should be kind enough to them to send them a...
All I know is Liz Smith ordered 2 videos already.
Well, good for Liz.
So I don't see why you have to be so uptight.
Good for Liz.
I'm not going to send a copy to the...
Well, I'll ask Liz what she thinks.
I don't understand why you're against cable television. I don't understand why you're against regulation. I don't get the whole thing.
You don't?
I don't understand the whole thing you printed here. That's why...
Deregulation, you mean? Why I'm against deregulation?
No, I don't understand why you're against pay-per-view cable casting. I don't get it. I don't get the whole thing.
Don't you? It's not a shame. You get everything usually.
Okay.
I can't understand you not getting it.
And why did you snub me at the Geraldo thing? You didn't even say hello to me.
I didn't even know who you were.
You know who I am.
No, I didn't know who you were. I did not know who you were. Believe it or not, the only thing I knew about what you looked like was something Jack Parr told me.
Oh, come on.
All she knows about me is what she reads.
Or what people tell her.
Yeah. She doesn't know anything. What kind of reviewer isn't curious to she writes something to at least see the show she's writing about.
And what is she and Jack Parr sitting around doing, talking about you?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure she meant the chicken comment. She
read it.
Well, obviously she didn't recognize me, so I don't
really
look like a chicken.
She knows of you.
Yeah, through Jack Parr.
Yeah.
And she doesn't understand what I mean about cable broadcasting. Since when, if the public can pay for something directly, why isn't that healthy? You mean to tell me it's better to have the networks dictate to us what we can see?
Oh, yes, we're not responsible enough to know what we want to see.
Yeah. The woman makes no sense.
Or what you want to pay money for.
And then I tell her I don't get why she's against pay-per-view, and she goes, well, you usually get everything.
I don't understand that. You usually get everything.
Because she can't explain herself, because her opinion makes no sense. Fine.
I never saw you, Howard. I've never looked at you.
Kay.
I have no idea what you look like. This big, tall man passed me with long hair.
Yeah. All right. Okay, I'll give you that.
And you accused me of not speaking to you, and I didn't even know who you were.
Robin, these opinions don't make sense, though. Do you agree with me?
No.
What Kay is saying, she's against cable casting because people are getting ripped off. She reviewed my show and didn't see it. And she hasn't listened to the radio show and doesn't know who you are, and yet she calls me foul mouth.
Makes comments about it all the time.
No, it's not a shame.
And that's hypocritical.
Is it?
Yes, and it's not right. And it's not fair that you do that.
Oh, I see.
And it's fair of
and
me.
You play fair.
I do.
She keeps saying that. She keeps saying, listen, isn't there a difference between a guy doing a comedy radio program and a woman who writes for the Daily News who's a reviewer?
Well, see, this is the thing. You know, a person has a certain amount of power when they have a radio column, and then they feel the right to abuse it if they feel singled out or slighted by someone who makes comments about them on the radio.
In other words, I don't play fair, so she's not going to play fair. Well, I happen to think I do play fair. If I comment on Kay Gardella, I'm commenting on something I've read of hers.
Yeah.
I don't make something up. What this woman has done is that she has written a review of something, and it is a review, regardless of what she says. She says it appeared in the Tube column, Inner Tube, but it's a review, nevertheless. She wrote a review on something she never saw, and that doesn't bother her because I don't play fair. So she's not going to play fair with her column.
So what does that mean about, you know, the rest of the stuff she does? She can choose to play fair at some points and not at others, and we can't tell the difference?
So if NBC has a screening and doesn't invite Kay, she can then bad rap them, not based on the program's content, but because they didn't play fair?
Right.
And
when are you able to distinguish the difference when she's playing fair and not playing fair?
Every newspaper columnist has called K-Rock looking for a transcript of this tape. They don't even believe it.
Yeah.
Nobody believes it.
How can you tell when she's actually seen something and when she hasn't?
Here's what Kay says in her column today. Once and for all, let me clear up. She's going to clear everything up. In one little neat couple of paragraphs. Once and for all, let me clear up for the benefit of those who have called here that I distinguish between reviews and comments. She distinguishes between reviews and comments. A review is a series of comments put together, but she distinguishes between the two. And we're supposed to know this.
Yeah.
How do you distinguish between a review and comments? Some confusion seems to have arisen thanks to radio's Howard Stern, the tasteless broadcaster. Again, the woman never heard me, according to her.
But, you know, in that entire conversation, you didn't say one foul thing.
No.
And that's the first time she's ever heard you.
So how does she call the tasteless? The tasteless broadcaster we should call Sterno, since he's trying to light a fire under the FCC.
Ha 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 ha.
So that's her new nickname for me, Sterno.
Yeah. And that whole FCC thing. I mean, she's just...
What does that got to do with the article?
Yeah.
The FCC thing.
Just throwing something in that means absolutely nothing.
She brings up the FCC, but she's talking about...
Her comments on the air.
Yeah. And she's nicknaming me Sterno. Well, that's real funny. So call me, I don't care what you call me. Just get your column straightened out.
He's trying to light a fire under the FCC.
Listen to this sentence anyway. Listen to the structure of it. Listen to this. Some confusion seems to have arisen, comma, thanks to radio's Howard Stern, comma, the tasteless broadcaster we should call Sterno since he's trying to light a fire under the FCC.
Yes, and that is not a sentence.
It's not.
In my book, that is not a sentence.
He's been saying that our, in other words, she's trying to throw off the thing on our, like a bunch of people wrote the review.
Or that this is the Daily News' view.
Yeah. It's Kay's view. He's been saying that our description as garbage of his negligee and underpants party on pay-per-view, which dared to charge the public to pay $19.95, was a review. He's been saying that our description as garbage of his negligee and underpants party on pay-per-view, which dared to charge the public to pay $19.95, was a review.
Well, disregarding the sentence, what would you call it?
What's wrong with charging $19.95? If you don't want to pay it, don't pay it. She called it garbage. That's a review.
If you found something garbage, that is your opinion?
That's a woman's opinion. That's her review. That's a review. When you call something garbage, it's a review.
Yes.
That implies you've seen it. She says, and he's been whining. Well, of course I'm whining. You'd whine too if you had a person writing a column that is a total fabrication. And he's been whining about how we could review something without seeing it. Well, the garbage reference was not a review. It was a comment based on information from a variety of sources about the program. Well, why didn't you say that originally? A little backpedal here, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
I can smell garbage, she says. I don't need to see it.
All of a sudden, we're doing the dozens with Kay Gardella.
Yeah, why doesn't Kay report in the paper that she smelled the special and did not see it?
Then I would have more
no
respect
problem.
for her.
You'd have no problem. You'd say, "Hi, I'm Kay Gardella. I smelled my television before it went on, and I smelled garbage. I didn't get to see it. Yeah, I didn't get to see it, so I can't comment on its content." Wait till you hear the rest of her comments. You're gonna freak. I mean,
is everything coming clear to you now? Has she cleared it all up for you?
Oh, well, wait. In all fairness, we haven't finished the article. As it goes on, it becomes crystal clear that this woman is into some kind of weird thing here, and it's certainly not writing fairly. Let me just play the rest of this phone call.
Yeah.
There's so much to get back to here. I mean, I'm just so full of ideas about this whole thing and what should happen to this woman.
But what interests me most is this is a critic who, when they find out that somebody has criticized them, goes wacko.
Yeah, oh, she's going wacky. Listen to, I mean, her explanation doesn't even make any sense. And she had time to think about it.
Yeah.
Because she's catching a lot of hell for this. She hasn't caught enough hell because I haven't had time to replay her phone conversation until today. This happened last week.
Yeah, this is the first time we've been able to get to this. Wanted to get to it a lot sooner.
Yeah.
I do, Kay. I do.
I'm really interested in that. That's the thing I am interested in.
How don't I play fair?
Your perception of yourself.
No, so you never listen to the show. How could you have a perception of him?
Yeah.
Robin, why are you getting so excited?
Because it's unbelievable that a reporter would...
Robin, I don't know what you're so upset about.
You're a critic who doesn't watch a show and then gives a bad critique.
That's what annoyed me the most when she kept saying, "Why are you so upset?"
Yeah, I mean, this is incredible to me. That's not a joke. I think it's incredible that somebody could have such a strong opinion of something she's never heard.
I'm only upset that when someone who writes for something as sacred as a newspaper, under the guise of being an objective reporter.
No, not objective. She is a critic.
Well, she states opinions.
Yeah.
But she's supposed to be objective to the point where she turns it on and then formulates an opinion.
Oh, yes, that's true.
And
they're supposed to be familiar with what they review.
And that's the premise we're operating under here when we read the newspaper. And what she's not telling you is that she's totally biased before she watches the show. In fact, what she's saying here is she didn't even bother to watch the show or listen to it. She knows already that it sucks. And nobody's alarmed about this? This threatens the whole Daily News credibility. I'm sorry that nobody's calling her on the carpet for this. I want to read some kind of retraction. I want a retraction that says Kay Gardella never watched my television show and therefore was not qualified to make comments.
Was giving her own personal opinion about you, not about what you did.
And what kills me, too, is Jeff Weingrad is the editor over there, and he's the guy who did the investigative piece on Saturday Night Live and, and all this kind of crap. I doubt his judgment as well on this. Because if he's the editor, does he ever say to Kay, you're making all these comments? He wants to jazz up. He told me himself when he got the job, he wanted to jazz up the newspaper and get all kinds of opinions in there and stuff. It's fine, Jeff, to get opinions, but at least find out if Kay's watched the shows. And if you're assuming that she has watched the show, then she's done wrong, and I deserve a huge retraction here. And don't throw it off in a cutesy fashion. Don't ask me to write
a sentence.
Yeah, don't ask me to write a little column or something, to rebut. There's no rebuttal here.
A letter to the editor.
This is the same thing that happened in the Washington Post when that woman made up a story. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
The one who wrote up about the 5-year-old junkie. She did an article on a young junkie that she was following around. She won a Pulitzer Prize, and it turned out she made up the whole thing.
Yeah.
There's no difference here.
Robin, I really don't understand why you're upset, dear.
Because
it upsets
she's
me
shocked.
when I hear people say, well, I didn't read and I didn't listen and I didn't hear, but I think he's horrible.
It's not right, Kay. And you have, you create the published perception of me. What if a television producer comes to town?
Well, I get calls all the time quoting you.
Okay, let's say he picks
Could
up.
they misquote?
Let's say he picked up the Daily News and he sees this review of me. And he says, well, I don't want to put him on TV.
That's terrible.
And he's reading a review by someone who hasn't even seen the show.
Isn't that terrible if they don't put you on TV?
Listen to this. Do you believe this? Isn't that terrible? Yeah, well, it's my career, Kay. And excuse me, isn't that terrible?
We should only watch what Kay Gardella thinks should be on TV.
This woman is a danger. She is dangerous, and I demand that she be taken off the Daily News. Or be reprimanded in some way. I demand it. I really do.
And this whole attitude that whoever calls her is telling the gospel and has written down what you said and is quoting you correctly and directly.
Yeah. Someone calls her up, a listener, or she quotes her fans or somebody, calls her up and tells her what I've said. Could it have been taken out of context? Could it be totally wrong? Is that the way to review a show based on what somebody said about it?
She wouldn't know, Howard.
And what are you getting so upset about? Well, because it's my career. It's my work. And I would appreciate it if you're going to be a reviewer to... I mean, do I have to explain?
If somebody called you and said, someone said something about you or wrote something about you, you do read it.
Yep.
Before you decide that you like or dislike what they said.
Wait a second.
Okay, you've never even been on TV. You don't even know what TV shows cost to put on.
Oh, she's done Hollywood Squares.
Oh, that's right. You didn't even know it takes $500,000 to put on a cable special.
My goodness.
It does.
You threw that much money away on that thing.
That's right.
You're out of your mind.
But that's neither here nor there.
I feel very sorry for you that you did that.
What she wrote is propaganda, plain and simple. She decided she didn't like something. This is called propaganda. This is what they do in Russia. You don't like someone, you want to target someone, let's write an article without watching it. Oh, that's too bad you won't be on TV. It's not the point, Kay. It's not up to you to decide who should be on TV.
I really do. I do.
How is that ripping off the public? If a network television...
You could have gotten a good haircut with that money.
Kay, if the come on, let's not talk about haircuts, Kay.
I could even give you a haircut for that money.
Kay, let's not talk about hair.
Let me clarify your laughing back. I don't think you're laughing at her. I mean, I don't think you're laughing with her.
It's so ludicrous
It's
now.
like,
I'm just like,
yeah.
I can't believe this woman.
Come on, seriously.
No, I'm serious.
Come on.
I said to her, if you want to get serious about making fun of people's haircuts, let's talk about your haircut, Kay. Hell, I don't even know there were beauty parlors still left that do that kind of hair cutting. That's when your mom went to a beauty parlor and got her hair shellacked. What is it, Gary?
Listeners have already started inundating the Daily News with phone calls.
Good. They should. They should be outraged. They should be totally outraged. Because even though this is kind of funny, it's sort of sad. And this is what I felt about certain writers on the Daily News anyway. And I tell you something, I don't think George Maxine's opinions fall far, but at least I think George listens to the show whenever he writes something.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. I am just totally outraged. Gary's debating whether or not George actually listens too.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Can I voice an opinion? What happens is George tunes in once every 2 weeks for 5 minutes.
Right.
And gives his opinion out of context.
Why don't they have somebody who really loves radio write a review column for it or write some kind of column, someone who's really into radio? I mean, why take an old guy who just can't stand the medium anyway? But we're not here to attack George, because George is smelling like a rose right now compared to Kay.
Absolutely.
I mean, let's take on one at a time.
Never thought we'd find something positive to say about him, but we sort of have.
And in all fairness to Jeff Weingrad, I don't think he has the ability to fire and hire over there, and I don't think he can fire Kay Gardella, but I think he could certainly put his 2 cents in every once in a while. I don't know who has that ability, but I demand that she be fired. I demand nothing less. I'm outraged.
Well, I just hope that if they don't fire her, they tack on at the top of the column whether Kay has actually watched the program she's reviewing.
Yeah, a disclaimer saying that Kay has not seen any of the programs she's reviewed this week.
She may or may not have turned on her TV. She may have just smelled it.
I pictured Kay like watching 5 minutes of a show, then like fast forwarding through it.
Or
you know what I mean?
falling asleep.
Yeah. What is it, Mitch?
Dominic Barber just called me and said that you definitely have a case and he wants you to give him a call.
Ambulance chaser. He is not an ambulance chaser. He's actually a very good lawyer.
He said he has the papers ready to be served right now.
Really? He has papers ready to serve? Wait a second. Let me talk to him.
They're divorce papers, but
nevertheless, papers.
You know, he was in the paper again today, or on the radio, because some man is being accused of raping his wife.
Yeah, is he involved?
Yeah, he's defending.
That's his case?
Yes.
Because I did see that, and I decided not to bring it up.
That's his case.
You see, we don't bring it up because we're too close to it.
Hello?
Dominic.
Howard?
Boy, do you jump on a case quick.
Going out to dinner with Slotnick. Are you kidding me? I couldn't eat my breakfast.
Slotnick. Hey, by the way, you're on the air.
I know.
Oh, okay.
We're suing today. The papers are going out.
Now, wait a second. Calm down.
No.
Calm down.
Wait a minute, you can't sue unless he wants to.
I didn't hire you as a lawyer yet. You nut. Are those divorce...
already prepared the bill.
Are those divorce papers? The bill is already made. He's already taken his percentage. Hey, you really think I got a case?
Are you kidding me? And I think there's a conspiracy. I don't want to say for sure between her and Jimmy Swaggart.
Oh, no.
Now she's going to be suing you. Let's just say Dominic is kidding.
Yes, that was a joke, Kay.
That was a joke, Kay. But, in actuality, I might call you, okay?
No, seriously, I think this is horrible what she's done, and I don't intend to stand for it.
I just want to make enough money to pay for my nose job.
No, you don't need a nose job.
Oh, yes, I do. I'm really thinking of getting one.
Need it or not, he's going to get one after this.
Yeah, not kidding. But seriously, isn't there
investigators, and they're checking into the background.
No, really, isn't this defamation of character,
Certain things
Dominic?
happened in the 50s, which we're not allowed to talk about on the air yet.
Really? Oh, you mean you're building the case already?
Of course.
Interesting.
All right. Tell you, this Dominic,
Dominic's a top attorney. I'm telling you. You know, this guy's no quack either. This guy's a top guy.
Yeah.
Don't mention breakfast with Slotnick or dinner. I couldn't eat my breakfast here.
Yeah, that would be horrible for you to miss a meal.
Slotnick's God forbid Dominic should miss a meal. Slotnick's a good attorney. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely, but Howard, you know.
Howard, you know. Let's discuss how much of a percentage you're going to get. I'm no Jessica Hahn now.
Wait a minute. You mean you want part of the winnings?
Yeah. Just calm down before I hire you.
Well, that puts the case in a whole new light.
Yeah, a whole new light here.
I gotta hang up. I gotta call Gardella up, see what she'll pay me.
She's going to need somebody to defend her. We're not calling her Gardella anymore. We call her Garzella. Garzella. All right. Anyway, hey, thanks a lot, man.
Bye.
All right, I'll speak to you, Dominic. Bye.
Kay.
Oh, come on, Howard.
Kay.
Do you feel that you could not do radio with short hair?
Can you write a television column with a beehive hairdo?
I might.
No. Okay, so there's the point.
I might.
Hey, but listen, seriously, Kay, I'm being serious now.
Go ahead.
There's nothing wrong with my public wanting to see me on television and willing to pay for it because network television won't put me on and they help defer the cost of it. There's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with a pay cable industry because, after all, people want to pay for a special event that they can't get on the networks. Why should the networks have the whole damn monopoly on this thing?
Mm-hmm.
Why should we be at the mercy of the networks for what we want to see? Why should cable companies be in control of what we get to see? There's something healthy about
I don't think
pay-per-view.
cable companies should be. I'm
That's
furious
right,
with
so that's
that.
why there's pay-per-view.
I couldn't agree more on cable companies being in control.
So then you agree with me that if pay-per-view is an alternative, right, Buster? Buster Poindexter's here.
What are you talking about?
I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm dizzy.
How did I get into this? I was just heading home.
All right, Kay, go ahead. I can't get through to you. You're not following. You're agreeing with me, and then you're not making the final commitment.
I'm just being amused.
All right.
It's a very bad time at night, and I'm tired and I'm amused.
Kay,
you're very tired.
No, it couldn't be funny. There hasn't been one foul thing said here by him.
I guess we're just foul mouths.
But you're foul mouth.
I'm a foul mouth. Nothing funny's gone on here.
Yeah.
Robin, what do you do with him?
Why was she being amused? I mean, I thought I'm foul
you're
mouth.
foul mouth and you're trashy and you're garbage and you're tasteless. Why would she find anything funny?
Yeah, why doesn't she write? She finds me amusing. Because she obviously just found me amused.
Yeah.
She was amused, she said. Well, anyway, so she explains everything now in her column.
All right. Straighten it out for me.
Political writers comment every day on whether they think Vice President Bush or Jesse Jackson would make good presidents. They don't have to see them performing in the White House before commenting.
I wonder if they smell them.
There's an analogy. In other words, she can review TV shows without seeing them, and
they can comment on whether a person is a good president.
Will be a good president.
Without seeing them in the White House.
Yeah. It's a perfect analogy. It's enough for me to read the details about Sterno's pay-per-view rip-off program. Again, she calls it a rip-off program. That's what the guy in the Post wrote.
She doesn't know whether it was a rip-off or not.
Yeah, she still hasn't seen it, but she's still calling it now rip-off program. She hasn't seen the program. She refuses to watch it. She now calls me Sterno's pay-per-view rip-off program, and it's possible now enough for her to read the details, but she doesn't tell you in her column that she read about it. She acted like she saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Please note that the comment did not... Now she's talking about the comment. Please note that the comment... In other words, she didn't say my comment. She says the comment.
Right.
Please note that the comment did not appear in my review column, but rather in our inner tube. Like, that makes a difference.
It was still...
a review.
A review.
It was her opinion. It's different. If Kay writes in the inner tube, then she can slander anybody she wants and write whatever she wants. If it's in her column, it's different.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, the average reader understands that.
All right, so now under inner tube, we're to say that these are all just suppositions.
Right.
Erroneous comments.
Because it's not Kay's column. It's not, her beautiful picture isn't next to it.
Yes.
With the huge earrings.
But don't take these seriously, apparently.
Also, Sterno's, now she's still attacking me. She has to call me a name, Sterno. This is a reviewer. This is someone who's supposed to have an opinion, an objective opinion. Again, an objective one, in the sense that she has to at least go under the premise that she's seen the program.
All right.
And that's all I mean by objectivity. Also, but she's attacking me. She's the one who's making all these faux pas, and she's attacking me. She should be apologizing to me in this column today.
No,
she's not going to do that. She's explaining the whole thing away. Also, Sterno's listeners should know they're being conned when he says pay-per-view is liberating the viewers from the yoke of the cable companies and giving viewers true freedom of choice. Try watching pay-per-view without being hooked into cable. Well,
we didn't say it was free. We said freedom.
Yeah, it's freedom. She's nuts. That's not what I said. Of course you got to be a subscriber to cable, but why should cable companies have the choice of what to put on the air? Why don't you have the choice to pay for something directly? What is she saying here? Nothing. One more comment. This is not a review.
Well, that was easy to see, Kay.
Sterno's use of his broadcast to promote his pay-per-view fiasco is a disgrace. Again, they let her print this in the that it's a fiasco. Under what terms is it a fiasco? I've got many positive reviews. If she's gonna review my show based on reviews in the newspaper, I read 2 positive reviews today of my show.
And she mentions nothing about them.
She mentions the guy in the Post. She calls it a fiasco. Under what? Financially? What does she care if it's financially a fiasco or not?
Based on what?
How is it a fiasco?
And I beg to differ even with the word rip-off. Isn't a rip-off...
stealing?
Well, it's based on the fact that the people who paid for it feel that they got gypped. She hasn't talked to the people who paid for it.
No, here. Hey, she wants to talk to some... Did you see the pay-per-view special?
Yeah, I saw it.
Did you feel ripped off?
No, and I want to talk to Howard because I think we should have a rally in front of the Daily News. I'm calling from Philadelphia, and I'm so upset. How can I read an article on a movie and go see this movie? And I mean, I'll never be able to believe what they say. How do I know they saw the movie?
Well, and how do you know that she doesn't have some kind of special interest? Like maybe she's got a bug up her ass about, Barbara Streisand, so therefore she'll give it.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Not reviewing it on its merits. And let me tell you something, that's why Barbara Streisand wasn't nominated for an Academy Award ever, because some guys have a bug up their ass about her. Isn't that true?
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't believe it, and I'm so upset, Howard. I can't believe that they would do this, that they would allow this.
Yeah, and you know what? Everyone will laugh it off because, it was just Howard Stern. But that's not the point that it's just Howard Stern.
I said exactly to my boyfriend. I said that if this was anyone else, this would not happen.
Oh, it would be a total outrage.
Right.
Imagine they found out that Kay reviewed a show for NBC and didn't watch the show, made comments about it, and never saw it.
And what does she say about yours talking about it here is what?
She says, this is not a review. Sterno's use of his broadcast to promote his pay-per-view fiasco is a disgrace. He asked me, what did I care if the public was willing to pay? Well, I do care if the public is getting ripped off or used. How did anybody get ripped off?
If they didn't want to see it, they didn't have to pay for it, Howard.
And you saw it. How did you get ripped off? You saw 2.5 hours without commercials.
Exactly.
Which is comparable on network television to a 5-hour program.
Right.
But how is it a disgrace to tell people something they want is available here?
Yeah, I don't understand what she's saying.
I don't either.
She's just defaming me.
And that's not a review.
And that's not a review, right. And by the way...
Let's get the dictionary. I'm so confused.
And then the best of all is the last sentence. She says, so Howard Sterno, don't call us, we'll call you. I wish she would call me.
Definitely. Howard, you got to do something about this.
But what am I supposed to do?
This is an outrage.
I can only point things out. You do something about it. You should be outraged.
I am outraged. I can't believe it. I'm in Philadelphia. I can't believe that this goes on. I can't believe this happened.
Well, this has been going on my entire career. This has been going on my entire career, being reviewed by people who just have a bias. And I'd make the same claim against a couple of other reporters in this town.
And, there have been reviewers in this town who have made comments before and then have apologized because finally they listened, got the joke, understood it, and then they wrote that.
Yeah, I mean, Marvin Kipman at least was man enough to write a column saying he enjoys the show and he gets something out of it. I mean, and finally admitted that he listened to it. He said he had a hard time admitting to it, but at least he did it. And if Kay doesn't listen to the show, she should just state, I have no opinion. I haven't listened.
People call me about the Howard Stern show, but I don't hear it.
Yeah.
So I have no comment.
Right. But no, she's got an opinion because she read about it in the New York Post.
Howard, you should give the number to the New York Post out on the air.
No, Daily News.
Daily News. Let's make that
and let
clear.
them call.
I'm sure people are already, from what I understand. I don't think making phone calls does a damn's worth of difference. You know what they're doing over the Daily News now? They're going, hey, this is great, man. Probably more people will buy the newspaper.
It's selling papers.
It's selling papers. Because it's me. That's why. Anybody else would demand. I might take out a lawsuit this time.
I think you should. I definitely think you should.
I might collect a few $1 million.
Definitely. You should, Howard.
But when you say to Kay Gardella, it's not fair to make comments about something you haven't seen as if you have. She says, and you say to her, well, you could write that I don't watch it and I wouldn't recommend it because I don't particularly care for something that I've never heard of or seen before, but from what I've heard of the title, I don't want to see it. That's one thing. She goes, no, that's what you want me to write.
Yeah. That's what you want. No, I want you to just write fairly. That's all.
The truth.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to write that.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you something. I don't know what'll come of this, but I hope something. I kept saying in here during the commercial, I kept saying, I wonder what'll come of this, really. And I kept saying, maybe something will come of it. And I don't like to see anybody lose their job, but I'm sorry. When
I'm having a hard time saying somebody should lose their job.
Yeah, me too, but I'll tell you something. Don't have such a hard time because I'm sure that when she keeps printing crap about me and shaping the public's perceptions, I'm sure I've been passed over for a couple of jobs based on what she's written.
It's a possibility.
It's more than a possibility. I'm sure that a lot of people at NBC wake up every day. Don't forget, this is New York. They wake up every day and go, yep, we were right about Stern. He's just filthy.
Kay said?
See what Kay said? He's filthy. We were right. That vindicated us.
You get in all kinds of trouble for saying rotten things about people?
Yeah, you get in trouble if it's not founded in any kind of fact.
Right. Exactly.
But nobody will take her to task for this. I can assure you nothing will happen. I won't get an apology from her. I won't get an apology from the newspaper. I don't even want an apology from the newspaper. I want an apology from her, written in print.
Howard, I am outraged, and if I were you, I would be so upset.
Well, I am, but, I've been more upset. You know what, now I'm happy because at least I have some tangible evidence. I haven't been able to prove any of this before, that these guys don't even listen to me, and they write reviews. And it's kind of funny, too, because, Marvin Kipton was calling me and asking me for, he wanted to review the TV show and this and that. I don't even want this thing trivialized. I don't even want, he wants to get a copy of Kay Gardella's comments. I don't want it trivialized at all. I mean, I'm very serious about this.
Yes.
I don't want anyone saying, well, yeah, it's just Howard Stern, blah, 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 blah. I'm very concerned about that.
Even after this interview was over and we got off the air that day, I said to everyone around, I said, I can't even believe she got on the air and said these things.
Yeah. She was like, because she doesn't even know any better. If she knew any better, she wouldn't be reviewing shows without seeing them.
And she doesn't care because it's you. Because she can say what she wants.
It was the most incredible thing I have ever heard.
Me too. It was a pretty startling piece of journalism, actually, what we pulled off there. But the thing is that, most people put on a face in public. This woman isn't even,
trying.
I mean, she's just like totally blunt about it. Hey, I hate you, and I'm going to write crap about you, and I don't even want to even watch your damn show because I'm just going to write about it anyway.
And just notice how critics take criticism. I
Yeah.
say that once again.
Why are you getting so upset? I mean, in that whining voice of hers, why are you getting so upset? Why are you so upset? It's like Aunt B.
Really?
You know? Aunt D? It's like trying to argue with Aunt B.
I know. And Robin, oh man, I was at the point where I was laughing because I couldn't believe it either.
Yeah.
It was like arguing with your grandmother about the Beatles.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
And that's okay, because even if... And that was kind of weird, too, because your grandparents never listened to the Beatles, and yet they hated them.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I just can't believe it. How can that happen? I don't understand how
It
that
happens every day to me, at least. And I know it happens to me. I can't speak for other people, and I'm pretty sure it happens to other people.
Well, when you hear other stars carrying on about critics and reporters and what happens to them in the
Yep.
press, you now understand what they're talking about.
It's just like, if you watch certain reviewers on television, you can tell they wait 2 days to read in the paper what everyone else thinks so that they can have the same opinion. And there are certain reporters in this town, I know for a fact, I don't know about in Philly, but you can tell that they waited 2 days to formulate an opinion just so they'd be on the right opinion.
Yeah, they'd
well,
be
I
with
must have
the
been
group.
really naive because I never even realized this went on. I
Oh,
mean,
it goes on all the time. I didn't realize it either until that whole FCC thing happened. I'll tell you when it first happened to me. First time it happened to me was when I got accused of saying something I didn't in Washington about this airline crash thing.
Yeah.
I've talked about it before. I went on the air and I was talking quite seriously about an airline crash, and someone said I made a joke of it. So then every reporter in town wrote the same thing. And that kind of got me angry, but I just said, screw it, what can I do?
Right.
And then you tried fighting the story, and
But I
it just
couldn't.
got larger.
Yeah, it got bigger and bigger.
That's
Howard
what
Stern
happens,
denies it.
yeah.
Meanwhile, I had a tape of what I said. You know, it was point blank. I didn't say it. And then the next thing that happened was the FCC thing, where everyone was just calling me foul mouth and shock jock, and I've gotten pinned as the shock jock of the nation, where I don't think I am a shock jock. I've heard shock jocks. I've heard guys get on the air in Dallas and just use the S word, and literally just go totally over the bounds of what you're supposed to do.
And you get investigated.
And I got investigated because I'm the most visible because I'm on the air in New York.
Right.
And I think that my humor, there is some humor here. I don't think that it's just a shock show.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
There's lots more humor than you're even suggesting, Howard.
Right. Right. There's times I'm humorous,
You're
I don't even
too
know
modest.
it. Right. I mean, I think there are times when we're funny. I'll leave it at that.
Howard, I'll tell you, I listen to you on my way to work. I'm crying when I get into work, laughing. I enjoy your show so much.
I thought you were taking Kay's side for a second. But,
You're crying.
You know what the horror is? Kay doesn't even have a side because she didn't listen.
She, at the very least, she could consider that this isn't a show for her.
Right.
That she's not the audience we're targeted for.
Right. She should come in the paper and say, I'm not fit to write about this because I haven't listened to it. Hey, anyway, I got to leave.
All right, Howard. Well, thanks for talking to me. And I think we should all rally in front of this newspaper. And I think we should picket it. Definitely.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, thanks.
All right,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye, Howard.
I don't want a little retraction on the back page of this thing either. I want a front page retraction. Daily News front page. Kay Gardella apologizes to Howard Stern. And I don't want a half-assed apology. I want her to admit that she's wrong, like I have seen, like one of those.
Well, it probably will be come down to one of those situations where, just like Frank wooed Liz Smith over lunch,
Yeah.
you'll have to feed Kay Gardella to get an apology.
No, she's gonna have to feed me. Keep me from suing. Come over and clean my house.
There's an idea.
Anyway. You're on the air.
How you doing, Howard?
Yeah.
How you doing, Howard? Howard, about that review, like I was saying, I totally agree with you. There's no reason why some lady should not see a show and then write a review on it.
It's weird. It's just weird, man.
I tell you, I think you should definitely take some legal action against her.
Yeah, well, I just might. Yeah. I always think that, you never collect from these lawsuits, though.
They take years, that's one thing for sure.
But there could be a nice little retirement fund.
And especially, how she commented about your appearance. That's not right either.
Well, that's okay. I don't mind that. She saw my appearance. I don't mind that she comments on it.
It's just stuff when she comments and stuff she didn't see. I don't care.
But for a media person to be that unaware of other things that are happening in media, not to recognize you when you've been everywhere.
Yeah.
Your face has been everywhere.
She knew who I was.
You're written about in her own daily news. Your picture appears larger than life in the paper.
Hey, Robin, how do you argue? It's true, I'd never seen Kay before except on the newspaper picture. I knew who she was right away. But I'll tell you something. How do you argue with a woman who says, and then she's against the $7 movie, which might be a noble cause, but then she screws it up by going, why should we pay $7 for something we saw for 35 cents 35 years ago?
She doesn't even go and see him. That's what it is.
Yeah, but the point is, I mean, that was 35 years ago. Costs have increased.
Everything has gone up. Did she stop eating because food prices have gone up?
I mean, she's incredible. $7 doesn't seem like all that much money for what you get. I mean, some of those special effects are incredible. That's got to cost a fortune.
Well, nowadays it costs like $50 million just to do a film.
Exactly.
Yeah, so.
Well, not $50 million, but certainly $10 million is not out of line.
No, that's average.
What did they say Jaws cost? They said it cost like...
Yeah, Jaws is like a $50 million feature. Because all the special effects. Star Wars is, a $50, $60 million feature.
But you can get a drama or something for about $10 million.
Yeah.
Got the Daily News right here. What section is she in?
She's on the last page.
She's on the last page.
Page 64.
She's in Tuesday's paper?
Yeah, today's. So we're not going to sit here and wait for you to find the article.
Page 60. Let's all read together.
Yeah.
Let me see. What, she starts from the beginning?
On the bottom.
Here.
Yeah, we're not going to have you read it. We just read it.
Just read the whole article. I feel like playing that phone conversation over just again. Let me take a commercial break. We'll just play it again.
All right.
Just play it all the way through. Then we'll do the news and we'll get out of here.
Great.
And I'm writing a song parody also. I'm working on one. Kay Gardella. Freddie says we already did a Godzilla thing, but I say we do it again.
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
What difference does that make?
Oh, no. We say she has to go, Kay Godzilla. And then I'll cut in the phone conversation?
Yeah, that'll be great.
I don't see why you're so upset.
Why are you so upset?
Yeah. Hey, Mo. I like when she goes, well, me, Liz Smith, and John Gambling are thinking of suing you. On what grounds? Because I think you're fat? Can't sue someone for that. The only time you can sue someone is when you... Oh, forget, I'm not going to explain the law to Kay Gardella.
But once again, Howard, this is not, first-hand opinion. She heard that she should be upset.
Isn't it amazing that I'm at war with everyone?
Well, when you get down to fighting with a Kay Gardella...
You got to get in the mud.
I think that, you are fighting with everyone.
It's just that I can't believe that people at the Daily News are not upset. I would have called Jeff Weingrad at the Daily News.
It's funny because I used to read her column just for a laugh in the morning. Mm-hmm. Because her opinions are so far
so wacky.
from mine.
Yeah.
But now I understand how dangerous they can be.
Yep. Because she is actually, not that she's ever persuaded me not to watch something, but I'm sure she's persuaded somebody, some insane person. Listen to these words when we come back. I'll just play the whole phone conversation again because it is so unbelievable, and I want to make sure all the reporters out there can get it written down.
I hope they're discussing this in journalism schools today.
Oh, yeah, hopefully not at a Delphi journalism school.
Oh, why?
Because they could end up taking sides with Kay. Or one of those other schools, like the Post or something.
Oh, no. Yes, well, what is,
I think House is wrong.
Let's hope Columbia. Yeah. They're discussing it at Columbia.
Because he makes fun of people, so what can she?
Well, yeah, she doesn't know what he does.
Yeah, that's all. She's doing the same thing, man.
All right, listen, let's take a break. We'll be back right after this. Should I play the whole Kay Gardella thing again, or am I
don't know.
Am I overdoing
It's
it?
a judgment call.
It's a tough one. Maybe I'll play it to end the show. Because I have the Siobhan tape, and, well, people do want to hear it.
The Siobhan tape.
Yeah, you got to hear this.
That's intriguing.
Siobhan has Gary's home phone number.
Yeah, and I don't know why he doesn't change his number.
I know, I would. If I was, man, this is the creepiest message. Siobhan sends, really creepy messages. I thought the last one about him waiting for his AIDS test was creepy. This is the creepiest, because Siobhan, I don't know what's going on with Siobhan, the transsexual, but now he's using a different voice. It's like Siobhan number 2 coming out.
Uh-oh. Multiple personalities?
No, he's back to, this is like the male voice. At Bill.
Bill called.
Just you listen to this and you tell me what's going on.
All right.
This is frightening, Gary. You should change your home phone number.
Scared the hell out of my roommate.
First it sounded like, how I call your phone sometimes and go,
Well, I thought it was you at first.
Yeah, this is how weird this is. Listen to this. You're gonna freak. Siobhan's alter ego calling.
Yeah,
I think he's really going off the deep end.
So Pen's gone and got herself in another financial jam again. She's about 3 weeks behind in her rent. Doesn't look like she got any hope of paying it. I was wondering if you might have a gig this freak could appear at over the next week, make some quick bucks. Save her ass from getting thrown out on the street. Why don't you give her a call? She needs to talk to you.
Why don't you be a pal? She needs to talk to you.
You know what my immediate reaction was when I heard this?
What?
I thought of Michael Caine in Dressed to Kill.
Yeah.
I was expecting him to come in with like a scalpel.
Oh, man. Is that freaky or what? Did you think it was me?
No, I knew it was. I knew it was her. Him, whatever.
Oh, man.
You know what concerns me most is that we're the people she calls.
I know.
When she's in trouble.
When she needs money, she calls us. I'm not sure I even caught the whole message.
The message is that she got herself in another financial mess. 3 weeks behind on her rent. Could you help her out of a jam and get her a gig? Because usually when
who pays their rent 1 week at a time?
Well, when you're living at one of those...
Aren't you usually like 3 months behind in your rent? 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks and 24 hours.
Life is pretty desperate.
Siobhan will be thrown onto the street. Someone should warn the homeless.
Yeah.
Get ready.
You know, they're abandoning the streets.
The homeless are now going into homes.
This is Siobhan's alter ego calling.
Oh, man. And Jack used to say to me, why are you getting so upset that I have Siobhan over to my house? Hey, Jackie, and by the way, last time I go out to dinner with you.
Uh-oh.
What, you went out to dinner with him?
Went out to dinner with Jackie and made the mistake of bringing my wife and his girlfriend along.
Yeah.
His girlfriend must hate me. Or must be jealous of... This is what my wife and I figured out. She must be jealous of me and my wife.
Uh-oh, I can see that you spent the rest of the evening discussing what happened at dinner.
There was a big fight over dinner.
Oh, no.
Not get out of here, Fred. I'm telling you there was a big fight over dinner. Jackie, tell the truth.
There's a little rift there.
What happened?
Now, I spoke to Jackie yesterday, and he told me that you guys went out to dinner and that you had a wonderful time.
They only had to tell us to hold it down a few times.
Well, to Jackie, a fight is a wonderful time.
Yeah. Well, Jackie was happy because his girlfriend wasn't fighting with him. His girlfriend, my theory is his girlfriend is so frustrated with him and the fact that she won't get married, that she can't get married to him, and that she doesn't have a baby by him or anything like that because Jackie doesn't want to give up his bachelorhood. That I think that she took it out on me and my wife.
What did she do?
Well, Allison, I can't believe what went on in that pay-per-view special. How did you deal with that?
Oh,
I wouldn't let my Jackie do that. I'm like, no one's asking your Jackie to do that.
Yeah,
and how she wouldn't take a part in a movie if it involved... I go, she wouldn't have taken a part in... what was the movie I used, Jackie, as an example?
Oh, yeah.
Fatal Attraction. That was exactly it. She wouldn't have taken Fatal Attraction, the Glenn Close part, because she would have a sex scene. I go, yeah, right, Nancy,
No,
okay.
She didn't take that part because they didn't offer it.
Yeah,
to her.
exactly.
Yeah, there was like a 20-minute discussion of the fine line between what was...
But hey, what's with your girlfriend, man, confronting my wife like that? My wife doesn't care about it. And what is it to her?
Why do people feel a need to comment on your relationship?
Because people want to ruin my life. People want to ruin my life.
You're missing an important point. I was on your side.
It didn't matter. What's your girlfriend's motivation there, trying to bust up me and my wife?
Keep her home, Jackie.
Do me a favor. I love you, man. It's your girlfriend. Keep her at home.
She's great.
It always amazes
She's
me
great
when
for you,
people
man.
have comments on
My marriage.
your life.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if it's
man.
acceptable to you and your wife,
What do they
why
care?
do they have to deal with it?
And my wife and I are totally come to grips with what my thing is and what I do for a living. It's other people just love to get, and you know what it is? It's the other people who are jealous of me.
No, Nancy's just a little bit tense about her play that's opening.
No, don't do that. Don't do the plug thing.
No, it really was weird. I don't.
It was
even know how
weird.
we
It was
slipped
uncomfortable.
Into that conversation.
It was uncomfortable, but I was like,
She's
oh,
tired
man.
of fighting with you, so she thought she'd take on someone else.
Because we were laughing and goofing and having
a great time, and then all of a sudden
we segued into the pay-per-view and.
Oh man! And it got into. I got really upset. My wife didn't care so much, but I got really upset.
Well, this is another example of how you have to
defend.
Not only defend, but you know, there are always things to work out in a relationship. So you're constantly working on your own relationship.
Right.
And then you have other people
Butting
ripping
in.
it apart, so you have to work on it some more.
So we spent the whole weekend talking about how it didn't bother us.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, we were spending, and I said, well, Nancy accomplished what she wanted to. She wanted to get us thinking about her.
Yeah.
And somehow invade my little world.
Right. I mean, isn't it enough that you have a relationship that works? That's tough enough in today's society.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, but no one's satisfied with it.
You know, I love it because usually it's people, if people are satisfied with their relationships, they are not worried about yours.
Man. Oh,
I
man.
hate to say it, but
Jackie,
that's usually the case.
No offense, I'm never getting together with you again.
Oh, come on, we had a great time.
We did, but it was pretty hairy.
That's sad, you know, because you go out to have a good time.
And we were real complimentary and like trying to have a nice time. And I said, oh, they'll be good to go out with because they won't lay any trips on us.
Yeah, you worry about that from people who are not in the business.
Yeah, I said, let's go out with people in the business this weekend.
Thought we'd avoid the whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't even know how it came up.
And my wife is like, what is the big deal?
Yeah, she doesn't have to live with you anyway.
No. I think she's just upset with Jackie, and she takes it out on me.
And the thing is that Jackie can't do this and can't do that because she feels insecure.
Jackie can't, yeah. Why is your girlfriend so insecure about you that she won't let you go on regular television and be in bed with lesbians?
What's wrong with her?
Yeah. What is she afraid of?
I haven't had the chance.
And also, yeah, that's the point. Nobody's asked you to do it. She's evaluating what it would be like to be my wife.
Yeah.
And no one asked her.
And were you hiding anything?
Yeah, right. I wasn't doing it behind closed doors. I didn't go downstairs in a basement with hookers.
Yeah.
Should have a TV camera.
How come she can live with the fact that you went down in the basement with the hookers? I didn't even bring that up because I didn't want to get you in trouble. It wasn't you.
No,
It
you
wasn't
didn't
like,
think of it.
No, it was,
True.
You just kicked yourself.
yeah. Give me the phone.
I got another thing to say.
Yeah. By the way, how come you're still with Jackie if you went down in a basement with hookers and you know about it? I didn't go anywhere near those hookers.
But the other thing is you would never even have brought it up.
No
at
way.
Dinner.
How did it come up? I don't even know how.
I don't know. She just started in. I went ape. I went nuts. It got real uncomfortable.
Well, that's nice.
That's why I don't go out anywhere anymore. I swear to God. I said to my wife, don't make plans with anybody.
Well, you were a little on edge because you weren't allowed to take off your leather jacket.
Oh, yeah, that was another thing.
You weren't allowed? What?
We went to this restaurant. Good restaurant, by the way. Want to give them a plug?
Sure.
Nice. Oh, wait a second. They didn't give us anything for free, did they?
Yeah, they gave us a round of drinks and stuff.
Did they?
Oh, yeah. The guy was real nice, Steve.
So I paid the bill. It didn't look like...
Yeah, that kind of coincided with when you got upset is when you paid the bill.
Oh, right. Yeah.
No, it happened afterwards.
I know.
Yeah, it was good. I've been there a couple of times, and I brought Jackie there because the guy had kept bugging me. I go there all the time, and the guy kept bugging me to bring Jackie, and so I said, okay, I'll bring Jackie over.
Yeah,
It'll be nice.
Nice evening.
Nice, quiet evening. It'll be good. We'll all relax together.
Boy, oh boy, I can imagine this.
Jackie's girlfriend, man, starts in at the table on my wife.
How many times have we talked about this on the air, how that's totally inappropriate?
And the point is, if it does bother my wife, why would you bring it up?
Yeah, we want people to be upset?
Yeah, why would you what is your motivation for bringing it up? I can't even figure it out.
You mean Nancy? I didn't bring it.
I mean Nancy, not you, Jackie.
All right.
Not that you wouldn't do something.
And I just said to Jackie, can't you get your girlfriend under control, man?
Now, you know I can't control her.
Well, then get rid of her. You can't control her. What the hell good is she?
Well, let's not talk about controlling people.
Get her under control, for God's sakes.
She's beautiful.
Stop that. You don't have Allison under control.
Yeah.
Well,
what the hell are you talking about?
She doesn't bring up crap, though. I don't have to get her under control. She doesn't need controlling. She doesn't embarrass people.
Well, that's true. I mean, I don't understand that whole thing of bringing up, even
What's the motivation?
Might be thinking it's a sensitive topic.
It's
so
you know
why
what?
would you do that?
It's her way of getting to me.
No, we will.
And my wife said, "Why would she do it to me?" I said, "She didn't do it to you. She did it to me."
Yeah.
It's her way of she's breaking my inner circle.
Inner circle?
She churched my inner circle.
I was going to say, did you watch the Easter Seals?
You know what I'm talking about. She churched my inner circle. Charles Manson.
Content wherever I am. I live in my own peace of mind. Whatever I do or say, whatever you do or say does not touch my inner circle. I have peace. I have peace in my mind.
Okay.
You have a piece of a mind.
You have a piece of a mind, a very small piece of your own mind.
I think the way it came up is we were talking about that phone call of hers.
No, that came up afterwards.
No.
What we were talking about is breasts and hairy breasts.
Breasts and hairy
And all of a sudden, the thing got vicious.
Go ahead, you explain that one.
I'm not gonna. I'm just telling you for your own information. I don't know what it was, but somebody wanted to church my inner circle there. I'm telling you.
I don't know.
You know, I said, what was her motivation in bringing that up? I wonder.
Well, that happens, I guess everybody does that.
Yeah. To me, anyway.
Well, to me, too.
Yeah. They church your inner circle.
Yeah. They try to interrupt or disrupt your peace of mind.
Yeah. Charles Manson's making sense to me all of a sudden. Let's take a break. We'll be back right after these words. I got a lot of stuff. I mean, I even got that Jimmy Swaggart against porno. I'll have to do that tomorrow. I got the WMMR article. The WMMR's in trouble.
Right, yeah. And I wanted to talk about the Easter Seals telethon.
Yeah, tell me about that. Just
It was on this weekend, and Pat Boone and Mary Fran were the host and hostess on the national level. And here in New York, we got some guy from WMCA radio.
What was his name?
Who had to keep telling you who he was, and I still couldn't remember his name.
Well, they must be hard up for hosts.
Yeah, and some guy from Z100.
Was a host?
Magic something.
Magic Al, I think, is his name.
Magic Al?
Oh, that's the magician who performed at my daughter's birthday party. Wait,
Oh.
Magic.
I met him.
Magic Al?
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good act.
Yeah.
Well, this guy from Z100, and the two of them were just hopping around congratulating each other for being on radio and being, hey, well, let's not compare radio voices, because they kept trying to out-deep each other, while they were on the telethon, and they almost even tried to pretend to ad-lib. And finally, the guy from Z100 said, oh, you want us to pretend that we're not reading from the cards.
Yeah.
And they were doing all the old bits that you had to do the time
Circle of Lights.
On the Circle of Lights, they were doing that every few minutes, and the magic guy couldn't get the Circle of Lights going. The other guy had to come over and help him out.
What went wrong at Easter Seals Telethon? There used to be a lot more happening, because when I did it, it was Joan Van Ark was a host. I'm talking locally.
Right.
Joan Van Ark,
and some soap opera people.
And then wasn't there like some major guys doing it too? Maybe not.
Local? I remember a lot of soap opera people, because you did get to work with that soap opera woman. Remember that?
Yeah, she was nice. But now they're getting WMCA disc jockey. I mean, that's like the low. I mean, radio is the lowest art form. Getting a WMCA disc jockey is beyond. I mean, that's like going to the snail level.
Yeah.
I mean, God.
And, like, they even, when this guy did the wheelchair thing, remember, you show the parts of the wheelchair.
Yeah, what did he do?
All I could think about was you.
Yeah, how badly I screwed that up.
And he'd talk to the poster kids, and the poster kid didn't know who he was. He could care less.
No. Hi, hey, I'm on radio. Oh, who are you, Howard Stern? No. Imus? No. Jim Curt? No. Who are you? I'm the guy from WMCA. I don't even know my own name.
And then the people who would come on and announce that they had collected a lot of money from some function or other, they were always mentioning other radio stations. One girl gets on and she's talking to the guy from Z100. She goes, oh yeah, and the Power 95 jocks were there.
Wow.
And he says, who? And she goes, Power 95, because she didn't know he was from another radio station.
Oh, he felt kind of bad, huh?
Yeah, and she just kept saying it to him like there was nothing to be embarrassed about. She didn't know she was talking to a radio guy from another station.
Yeah. She didn't even know who he was.
No, had no idea.
She could have been hosting the telethon, for that matter.
It was pretty wild, because they had to keep telling you, hi, I'm so-and-so from so-and-so.
Yeah, that's pretty bad when you got to give your name every 5 minutes and tell who you are.
Yeah.
Now, where's my you got the telethon thing handy there, Fred? Me on the telethon?
Yes, sir.
I'll show you how to handle it. I hate playing this.
Oh, come on. We got to break it out every once in a while, because when they got to that Circle of Lights, that's all I could think about was you.
Yeah. I keep thinking about how I couldn't even get the Circle of Lights all the way lit. Because nobody took me seriously. Come on, all my fans. I just got an NBC 2 weeks ago, Oh, come on, all my fans.
Yes.
All 3 fans.
They had the weirdest lineup of guests. The only guest I saw was this gospel singer.
Yeah.
And some woman from a soap opera who was singing. I said, what in the world are they doing on these telethons?
Maybe they're close to a cure. They just don't need that much money for Easter seals.
But I got up on Sunday morning. They already had $20 million. I said, oh, hell, they don't need me. I'll turn the station.
Which one do you want? Have a heart telethon?
No,
Howard on telethon. Howard.
They're all the same telethon.
Howard on how to use a wheelchair.
Yes, there's my favorite.
You know what it was, too? I didn't know how to be on the telethon because I'd be getting so much flack from NBC that I had to go on and help.
Yes.
I was totally out of my element. I'd never helped anybody before.
I'm sitting in this wheelchair for a reason. Number one, I'm about to fall asleep, and it's pretty comfortable.
See, I could not believe Howard.
Richard Simmons is here. What are you doing?
Well, I lost my address book.
Yeah, we looked for it here. You don't trust us? What do you think, we stole it?
It had a picture of my father, the last picture that my father...
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Give it back.
Fred, give it back to Richard. Fred took it, Richard. He wants to sell it.
Fred's got
No, we really don't have it. Wait a second.
Where
what is
was it, Richard?
A gray address book?
Hi! And I was just on the way to the airport. Would it be in the trash?
Stranger things have happened.
Hey, take my address book.
A great
Well, I was right here.
We watched you take everything out of your...
Was it like a Pendaflex kind of, like
it was a Flex or something. It was like a little gray with the little snap on it.
Maybe
you couldn't have brought it here.
Okay, well then I'll go. I'm just on my way to the airport.
Oh,
and I was
Richard,
just
I hope you
stopping
find
by.
it.
What were we were making? Did you hear the Kay Gardella stuff we were doing?
Pardon me? No, I did 3 radio shows in a hotel room.
Did you really?
Washington, D.C., Norfolk, Virginia, and Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
What are you promoting?
Nothing. I was just really talking about getting back on the bandwagon after March and after Valentine's Day.
Huh.
Well, goodbye.
Where are you going? I'm not going to see you for a while, huh?
Pardon me?
We're going to be out in California in a few weeks.
Well, come to the house. I would love to make you lunch or dinner.
Oh, great.
Oh, you don't have to go that far. It's not going to be any of that diet stuff, is it?
From the
I'll
cookbook?
make you a very healthy California lunch that you will love. When are you coming out?
In April.
April.
Really? Yes. You can do the show live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could do it from my home with the dogs.
Oh. Hey, Richard.
Yeah.
Hey, listen to me on the telethon. Slap on the headphones. You get a kick out of this. This is when I did an Easter Seals telethon. They forced me to do it when I worked at NBC. I was so bad at it.
You should start
This is
from
me.
the beginning.
I should start it from the beginning. Wait.
But the great thing about this chair is that I can get out of it. I can walk. The people who need these chairs can't. If you could help us, please. Anything, $15, $20. $20 won't buy a wheelchair, but it's a pretty good start anyway. Oh. The only thing worse than a wheelchair is these shoes I rented from a place in Queens. Look at this. Patent leather, and they're sticking to my feet at this point. But please, can't you give us $10? Anything?
I'm so embarrassed.
But that was wonderful.
Oh, get out of here.
You helped raise
Worse
money.
than a wheelchair, his shoes. Don't you think that's trivializing things just a bit, Richard?
Oh, man, I will never do a telethon. In fact, I never would have done a telethon, but NBC threatened to fire me if I didn't do it. Remember, they were always on the verge of...
This year, didn't you? Did you have a good time?
What?
No, I didn't do a telethon.
She didn't do it.
Oh, you didn't? I heard you...
This was me years ago.
No, I was talking about the telethon yesterday. I wasn't on it.
Oh, you weren't on... You all don't do
on it?
telethons?
Were you on it?
But you all don't do telethons?
No way.
I have a great idea.
I'll just give money
Let's
privately.
do a Howard Stern telethon.
Oh, get out of here.
What would we be collecting money for?
Well, we would all think about what charity would be needed here to help out, and we would do something locally in New York.
All right, Richard, don't you have a plane to catch?
And then I'll do an exercise class so we can raise money, and all that money can go to the charity. We could take over
Where's my
Madison
you
Square
dictate,
Garden
for
or
God's
maybe Central Park. I'll do it free. We'll raise money for something wonderful.
You dick!
That's it, Howard! That's it! Goodbye!
You dick!
How dare he?
Richard! Richard, I know where your address book is.
You have it?
Of course I have it.
Oh, Howard.
Well, something happened to it.
Oh, really?
Richard, I know where your address book is. Come back here.
You really know?
I got a thing here.
Oh.
Richard!
Richard, come back.
Come back.
Is he coming?
I guess not.
I don't know if he can hear us.
I was going to tell him Dick Gregory fed it to Walter Hudson.
Oh, no.
Here he comes.
Oh, okay, watch.
What?
I think I know where your address book might be.
Where?
I think Dick Gregory fed it to Walter Hudson.
I didn't put him up to that. I didn't have anything to do with that, Richard. Richard is very upset.
Richard, it's got to be in your car. It's got to be in your... Richard.
Or check with Leona Helmsley.
Well, he's never been quiet before.
He's gone. Well, anyway, listen.
Poor baby.
If I was a man who went for other men, I would definitely go for him.
He's cute.
Good-looking guy.
He's very cute.
Jackie the Joke Man Martling at the Comedy Cabaret.
We're not done.
We're not?
No.
What are we doing?
Well, we have to finish the news.
Oh, the news. Oh, I forgot.
Oh, no. You don't get away with that.
Yeah, what is in the news?
Well, Howard, I was about to tell you about this new book that's being written about child killers. Apparently, the number of child killers is mounting, and I was telling you about a couple of cases. Of course, there's the one in Dedham, Massachusetts, where a 15-year-old boy is on trial for killing a 14-year-old schoolmate with a bat just to see how it felt to kill.
Yeah, you had that the other day.
Yeah. Last month, a 16-year-old in Minnesota was arrested after his parents, brother, and sister were hacked to death with an axe.
Right.
And in California, Tom and Janice Colella are underground, terrified that their 18-year-old adopted son might track them down. No one told the Colellas that the boy was a victim of fetal alcohol syndrome and had been given up for adoption by his birth mother after setting fire to her home. Before he was turned over to a state hospital 3 years after his adoption, the Satan-worshipping youngster had killed the family's hamster, mutilated their dog's ear, set fires, stolen food, smeared the house with his own excrement.
Yeah, dig that.
And repeatedly attacked his mother and promised to kill her and the couple's infant son.
Isn't that sort of like if you sell somebody a car and you don't tell them that it has a leak in it? Sort of giving someone up for adoption, not telling anyone that they're Satan worshippers. Yeah, he's a good boy, go ahead.
Think you got a lemon.
Yeah. There's got to be a lemon law against that.
And across the nation, according to this author of High-Risk Children Without a Conscience, Ken Magid, the upsurge of younger, deadlier criminals is happening. Many of their crimes seem reckless and senseless, even sadistic.
Listen, I'm not an expert in this area, but there is only one way, and one way only, to deal with children who kill.
Well, how is that?
Cut off their allowance.
Oh, Howard.
Once you do that, you literally can get them under control. Thank you.
This doctor says probably Ted Bundy, Charles Manson, and David Berkowitz are examples of violent kids who started out not being able to bond with their parents early on because of, both parents working and so forth. They think that there's an upsurge in this kind of adult as a result of, this childhood upbringing.
Well, of course, all of even my friends are now, the wives are going back to work. There's nobody home to watch the kids. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if some of their kids grow up to kill them. And I've said it to them. I wouldn't be surprised.
But it's also interesting that this one child who was the most vicious in that whole group we described was adopted. And it makes it interesting that I was reading this article in Star last week about Tina Yother's brother, who was also adopted, has the family terrorized.
Is that right?
Yeah, apparently he's very upset that they won't give him some money to finance his latest business venture. He says that once first he had another brother. Tina Yother's brother apparently started this whole acting craze in the Yothers family. And then he started to get all the attention. And then before this other kid could get his equilibrium from that, Tina takes off. And the family devotes all of its attention to her.
Yeah.
And now he's very, very upset. Rightly to the family. And he's threatened to bomb the house.
Well, that's according to what, the Inquirer?
The Star.
Oh, the Star. Well,
yeah, but,
okay.
They have quotes from each, independently of the father and the son. They can't write this stuff and nobody's suing.
You'd be upset, too, if someone as ugly as Tina Yothers was your sister and she got ahead in show business and you didn't.
Well, Dad Bob has gone to court to get a restraining order barring Jeff, the 24-year-old brother, from coming any closer than 300 yards to Tina.
Tina's a star. You can't
or
even...
anyone else in the family. They say he tried to prevent Tina and her mother from leaving their home by blocking their driveway with his car once. And now they say they just can't understand why he behaves like this. He apparently also has some alcohol-related problems and is separated from his wife and kids, and nobody knows what's going on there. But another adopted child who has a sad story to tell.
Adopted children never feel loved, and that I'll always maintain.
Well, you said that, and I never believed it until now,
That's
reading
true.
these stories.
I'm telling you. And on a subtler level, it happens every day. You ask anybody who's been adopted, they're always screwed up, and they never feel totally loved because they always felt different. In fact, it's a real weird stage they go through when they're like 10 or 11 years old and they don't look like anyone in the family.
Yeah.
Especially when they're adopted and there's like 3 other siblings. Because a lot of people adopt and then they're able to have their own children.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a very
common
phenomena. They're told they can't have children, they adopt, and as soon as they adopt, they have multiple children. And then, of course, they don't look like any of the other children, and they begin to hate their parents, and the parents begin to hate them on a subtle level. So adoption is, I'm against adoption. I've always been anti-adoption.
Well, if you adopt, don't have any children of your own.
Right. You should give your children up for adoption if you have children of your own.
Because the adopted child will never be happy as a result.
Right. I see the circle of lights. They're all lit up on the wall. Yeah, just wanted to say that. We're raising funds right now. Of course, it's always hard to relate to your children when they're heavily armed, so this whole thing is just self-perpetuating.
Especially when they're mutilating the hamster and setting fires.
Right. It's hard to really get into them.
Meanwhile, there's a writer's strike in Hollywood and here in New York. The Writers Guild went out on strike yesterday against the motion picture industry and television. First affected, the David Letterman show.
Hey, they might need me to come on.
Well, they don't have any writers, so they just canceled. They put in a week of reruns.
Are you kidding? Can't Letterman wing it for a week?
Apparently not.
Really?
Yeah.
It's unusual. I think Letterman's sort of like, hey, I don't want to go on and do the show if my writers aren't,
Yeah, maybe it's a not crossing the picket line kind of a thing as opposed to not being able to get it together.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Johnny Carson had scheduled in some guest hosts this week, and last night they went on as usual with Jay Leno.
Poor Jay has to cross the picket line.
Who was forced to use his own material.
All right. What else is new?
So, and they say they'll keep that going because they already had the week set as long as they don't run out of material. If not, they'll just go to some reruns as well.
So good for Johnny. He'll put someone else in an uncomfortable position like Jay Leno.
Absolutely.
While
Why
he
should
stays
he
out.
flounder?
Yeah. Why should he look like a bad guy? Let Jay look like a heathen.
Yeah. So anyway, that's happening in the television world, and they say it could affect, our TV programming very shortly.
Oh, God forbid. Does that mean the Cosby Show will have to go into reruns?
Yes, I'm afraid
no.
so. Maybe earlier than they might expect. Some of the shows are already wrapped for the season, however, so you never know. And here's some good news.
Good.
The
what, Divine's dead?
No. Stop it. The $25,000 pyramid has been revived. CBS is bringing it back. With Dick Clark as the host after a 14-year successful run. They replaced it with a game show called Blackout that was a dismal ratings failure. And several people wrote in asking them to bring the pyramid back, especially Betty White, Nipsey Russell, Adrienne Barbeau, and Ed Begley Jr., all of whom were regular guests.
They wrote in?
Yes.
Yeah, where does an Ed Begley Jr. appear if there's no $25,000 pyramid?
Right. I thought that was very interesting that Nipsey and Ed and Adrian are all writing in, bring back that show. They're the only ones who had us on.
I mean, that's Soupy Sales' big thing.
Absolutely. So it's coming back. We'll see those people once again. How much you want to bet that Dick Clark doesn't have them on every other week now?
Yeah, really.
They got the show put back.
Well, who's going to revive Dick Clark for the series? That's the problem. He's on a respirator, I think, somewhere.
Well, that's what's happening, folks. And, of course, we mentioned earlier, Divine is dead at the age of 42.
Yeah, and I feel real bad about that. He was a pretty nice guy. We interviewed him twice, and actually he was at the Palladium on Friday when we were there, and we were going to interview him. We were all set, but I guess just time ran out. We never got to interview him, and time literally ran out on Divine.
Yeah, I guess that was the last chance we would have had.
Yeah? Well, we had Tiny Tim, and Tiny was pretty good, so...
Yeah.
It was a choice between Divine and Tiny, and we went with Tiny.
Well, looking at the two of them, Tiny who's in his 50s and Divine who was only 42, Tiny looked a lot better.
Maybe I should do a eulogy for Divine.
Yeah.
I didn't bring my standard eulogy, though, with me.
Well, that's horrible, Howard.
Maybe I'll do it tomorrow.
A friend has died.
Let me write that for tomorrow's show.
All right. A eulogy for Divine.
Divine eulogy.
Whose real name was Harris Glenn Milstead.
Yes, but his parents want to keep that a secret, I bet.
They're shipping his body back to Baltimore for the funeral.
Good luck. Good luck, Baltimore.
I was going to say, not too many stars are going to show up for that.
Yeah, that's not enough for that fun. And also,
you can see Divine in his latest film, Hairspray.
I don't know if I'm going to see it now. It's too depressing. I don't know if this is going to be good for box office. And just think, Robin, he was on the verge of becoming a legitimate actor.
That's right. Was out in Hollywood to appear on Married with Children.
Man ate human excrement on camera and was wanted
Dog
to be
excrement.
and was upset. Dog excrement and was dog excrement.
Yes,
yeah.
come
Hey,
on.
let's make that clear. Man was very upset because he wasn't being treated seriously in Hollywood. But okay, Fred, anything you want to promote?
I'm going to be waiting for Divine.
I'm waiting for Divine.
Is that anything like Waiting for Godot? Is that a new play?
Maybe we should play the Kay Gardella phone call on the way out.
Yeah.
Do I have that rewound? No. Okay, that'll take me a second. I think people want to hear that. I know I want to hear it as often as possible.
Oh, and there's one other phenomenon going on that I wanted to mention. I forgot about this. There's some guy in the Bronx who's going around thumping girls in the head.
Is his name Fred Norris?
No. They don't know who it is.
What do you mean by thumping?
He hits people in the head. Let me see here. 4 schoolgirls were beaten over their heads and seriously injured
Maybe he's just trying to impress him.
by a mysterious assailant stalking a 4-block area of the Bronx. The girls aged 12 to 17 were all attacked in the hallways of their apartment buildings as they returned home from school.
Sometimes when I tried to pick up girls when I was very young, I used to thump girls in the head.
Oh, stop it.
Sort of a caveman thing.
The first attack was reported at 1:30 on Friday when a 17-year-old student was struck in the head in her building on Valentine Avenue.
Lovely.
2 hours later, a 13-year-old was critically injured after being attacked in an identical fashion. Those 2 girls are now listed in fair condition.
Maybe too much Deal-A-Meal.
But they don't say how he's doing this. The only thing the girls had in common is that they were all Hispanics. The assailant is described as an Hispanic male or light-skinned black man, 5'5" to 5'8", 25 to 35 years old, and wearing dark clothing.
Where's Paco?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, let's round up half the city.
Yeah. Is Paco in jail yet? Yeah, he's in jail. No problem there. Thought maybe he was up to some new thing.
Check down the hall.
Yeah. Where is the WJIT morning show? Is everybody accounted for?
Was it a dwarf?
Oh, dear.
All right, do you want to play this? You want to hear the Kay Gardella thing on the way out, Jimmy? It's your show, after all.
You mean the phone conversation?
Yeah, phone call.
You're going to play it again now?
Yeah.
It's up to you if you want. You're going to put why don't you put music under it?
There's a switch. No, we're going to write a song
heavy
parody.
metal, like, you know.
No, we're going to write a song parody to it. In fact, I'm going to go back to the office and do that now. Okay, dude?
Sure.
All right. I think a lot of people want to hear
How
it.
long is the call?
13 minutes and 22 seconds. What? Does that back you up?
Let me see the log.
Hey, man.
You mean you're not prepared?
No, just let me see the log 1 second.
Hey, man, don't you think it's kind of personal
No,
for me
you
to show
can
you
play
my
it.
log?
No, you
I
can
can play it?
play it.
Okay, here it is, the Kay Gardella thing. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
I might put music under it, so.
No, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, Metallica.
Please.
Hi, let me speak to Kay Gardella, please.
Speaking.
Kay, it's Howard Stern. We're on the radio. Don't say anything dirty.